Camilla's ambition to surpass Catherine raises questions about the extent of her desire for influence and recognition. Her recent public appearances have not effectively silenced criticism, with many pointing out her preference for events that align with her personal interests rather than those with widespread appeal. For example, while her hosting of literary gatherings is noteworthy, it has not attracted the same public admiration as Catherine's widely impactful initiatives. The contrast is striking when reflecting on Catherine's journey, particularly from the time of William's proposal in 2011. The proposal marked a pivotal moment, coming after nearly a decade of courtship. Goldsmith recalls the overwhelming pride and awe of seeing Catherine walk down the aisle, a memory emblematic of the public's warm embrace of the couple. Since their marriage, William and Catherine have been lauded for their exemplary parenting and family life. Katie Nicholl, in her book Catherine, the Future Queen, praises Catherine for adapting seamlessly to her royal responsibilities. Although she was not born into royalty, her transformation has been remarkable. While some critics have occasionally deemed her overly polished, Catherine's genuine personality has gradually shown through, earning her widespread respect and admiration. Goldsmith believes Catherine is now well positioned to assume a role similar to that of the late Duke of Edinburgh. Many people are eager to see William and Catherine ascend to the throne sooner, though such a shift would require significant constitutional changes. While there is no certainty about their readiness for kingship, they are widely regarded as the monarchy's future. Goldsmith has publicly expressed his pride in Catherine, stating he would feel deeply emotional when she becomes queen. In various tabloids, he has described her as a genuinely kind and beautiful person. Though Goldsmith has faced some controversies, they pale in comparison to those surrounding Harry and Meghan. He has openly criticized their behavior, referring to them as Muppets, and dismissing Meghan's claims of distress over Catherine as overblown. Goldsmith instead highlighted Catherine's reputation for fostering harmony. Recent disputes involving Meghan have further elevated Catherine's public image, showcasing her authenticity and poise. During the pandemic lockdowns, the royal family increased their community engagement, with Catherine's participation in a vigil for Sarah Everard significantly enhancing her public perception. Her actions during this period strengthened her image as a relatable and compassionate figure, further endearing her to the public. Catherine is forging a modern path for the monarchy, one that resonates strongly with future generations. Once ridiculed as a weighty responsibility, her potential queenship is now seen by Katie Goldsmith as a role worth the anticipation. Goldsmith has described her as the quintessential girl next door, admired for her sharp sense of humor and domestic abilities. He also expressed that if Australia were to become a republic, it would be a significant loss for the nation never to experience Catherine's reign, emphasizing the enduring bond between the two countries. Catherine's approach honors Princess Diana's legacy while distinctly carving her own. She is the first to hold the title of Princess of Wales since Diana, a title Camilla chose not to adopt, following her engagement to William in 2010. Catherine herself has named Diana as a source of inspiration. William, however, has been clear that his wife would define her own role, stating, "No one is filling my mother's shoes." Her contributions were extraordinary. In the complex and often enigmatic world of royal affairs, Catherine has emerged as a figure of authenticity and purpose. While controversies often swirl around the British monarchy, Catherine's ability to honor tradition while building a modern identity has solidified her place as one of its most admired members. Enter Camilla Parker Bowles, a woman who, despite her efforts, has never entirely escaped the label of the other woman. Now, however, it seems she faces a far more significant challenge than any tabloid scandal could have predicted. Prince William, the future King of England, is reportedly taking a firm stand against her. With his characteristic dignity and composure, William appears determined not to let his family's history be rewritten. This reported conflict shines a spotlight on Camilla, who has spent nearly 2 decades ingratiating herself into the royal family. Yet the looming transition of power from King Charles to Prince William casts an undeniable shadow over the monarchy. Charles, steadfast in his role, continues to hold on to the throne with determination. However, his advancing age and declining health have made the eventual shift inevitable, creating a delicate balancing act for the royal family as they prepare for the future while maintaining stability in the present. William's stance against Camilla signals his readiness to protect the monarchy's legacy as he prepares to assume a leadership role. In a family where tradition and modernity often clash, the dynamics surrounding this transition promise to shape the future of the British royal institution. The tension between Prince William and Camilla has been building for years. There has always been an underlying sense that something about her does not sit well with him, not only because of her past as his father's mistress, but also due to what she represents. Manipulation, opportunism, and a subtle yet persistent effort to position herself as something she is not. Prince William, it seems, has reached his limit. After years of holding his tongue, he is now ready to confront the issue head-on. Sources close to William suggest that he is furious over Camilla's increasingly blatant attempts to insert herself at the very core of the royal family. Particularly infuriating to him are her efforts to overshadow the legacy of his beloved mother, Princess Diana. For years, William has lived in the shadow of his mother's tragic death, but now he's taken a bold stand to protect and defend her memory in a way that has never been seen before. The stakes have never been higher, and William's determination to preserve Diana's legacy is clear. Camilla's power play symbolizes much more than just a personal ambition. It represents a direct affront to everything Princess Diana stood for: the royal family's legacy and the monarchy's bond with the British public. For years, the public has witnessed Camilla's brazen self-promotion, whether through meticulously staged photo opportunities or her constant attempts to get closer to her royal in-laws. But what has she accomplished with this influence? To be candid, Camilla has always been viewed as a social climber, an ambitious woman who leveraged her romantic involvement with the future king to secure a prominent place within the royal family. And though she may now hold the title of queen consort, it is important to remember that she was once branded by the press as the other woman. One thing is certain about Camilla: she will stop at nothing to advance her position, regardless of who she has to trample in the process. Camilla's latest move, positioning herself as a true matriarch of the royal family, has finally pushed Prince William to his breaking point. As a staunch protector of his mother's legacy, William can no longer sit idly by and watch Camilla attempt to rewrite history. Royal sources reveal that William is deeply angered by what he perceives as Camilla's attempt to overshadow the late Princess Diana's memory. For William, this is not just a personal issue, it's a battle for the very essence of the monarchy. Camilla's attempt to assume the matriarchal role may appear impressive on the surface, but for those who know the history, it is nothing short of a tragic irony. The woman who stood by while Diana endured immense pain, who openly carried on an affair with Prince Charles, is now trying to present herself as the compassionate leader of the royal family. The audacity of this move is almost laughable. It's a stark contradiction to everything Diana stood for. To many, it is the height of hypocrisy. While Camilla may have gained the crown, she has never truly captured the hearts of the British public. Though she holds the highest position within the royal family, every step she takes serves as a reminder that she did not earn her place there. It's akin to the colleague who takes credit for others' work and is somehow promoted, yet commands no respect. People are simply waiting for the moment when her true character is revealed. For Prince William, this issue goes beyond a woman trying to rewrite history for her own benefit. This is about safeguarding the future of the monarchy. Let's be honest, William has never been comfortable with how the royal family allowed Camilla to rise to this position in the first place. In his eyes, she's not suited to fill the role of matriarch, and she never will be. Diana, in stark contrast, was adored by the public, embodying grace and compassion, qualities Camilla can never hope to replicate. So what does Camilla truly represent? A two-faced, opportunistic socialite who has always placed her own ambitions above everything else. When you really consider it, the fact that the monarchy has allowed this woman to rise to a position of power is a sad reflection of how far it has fallen. She has slipped into this role while pretending to be something more than what she truly is. A usurper, a scavenger who has picked apart the royal family for her own gain. But now Prince William has decided that enough is enough. He is done watching Camilla play dress-up in the royal family, projecting an image of respectability and leadership when we all know what lies beneath. He is tired of seeing her parade around as if she's the one who has earned the right to call herself the matriarch. Most of all, he is fed up with watching his mother's legacy be trampled by someone who never truly belonged in the first place. If Camilla's audacity wasn't enough, her attempt to replace Diana as the symbol of the royal family is truly the final straw. What's next? Is she gonna claim that she's the one who taught the royal children how to show compassion? Prince William, always fiercely protective of his family and especially of his late mother, has now decided it's time to defend Diana's memory in a very public way. There's no sugarcoating it. Camilla's power grab has left him with no choice but to confront it head on, and he's not backing down. The idea that Camilla could somehow claim a legacy that isn't hers is an insult to everything William holds dear. Her reluctance to discuss the issue of succession has only heightened the tension. She seems unwilling to face the reality of stepping aside, a hesitation that contrasts sharply with the poised and prepared approach that William and Catherine have taken as future leaders. This stark difference only fuels the divide, highlighting the growing rift within the royal family. Consider the timing. These revelations emerge at a pivotal moment when King Charles is preparing to assume an increased array of royal responsibilities. Some argue that the timing could not be more inconvenient. Family tensions are escalating and becoming increasingly evident. In a way, there's a poetic irony to it. As Charles takes on more significant duties, his own son steps into the spotlight, aiming to address the unresolved issues left in Camilla's wake. Prince William is not merely defending his mother's legacy. He is also championing the future of the monarchy itself. If this turmoil continues to intensify, as many predict it will, it has the potential to overshadow King Charles's reign and alter the royal family's trajectory for generations to come. What lies ahead remains uncertain, but one thing is clear: the gloves are off. Prince William appears to have reached his limit, and Camilla's quiet behind-the-scenes influence seems on the brink of collapse. The real question is, how much longer can the monarchy maintain the illusion that the royal family isn't a ticking time bomb ready to detonate at any moment? Let's pause to acknowledge the audacity of the situation. Camilla Parker Bowles, a woman who has spent much of her life portraying herself as something she is not, a royal, a matriarch, a symbol of goodwill, has now stepped into the spotlight. With her firmly positioned at the forefront, it's time to scrutinize the woman who has played the role of queen consort all these years. The reality is, no amount of dazzling tiaras or carefully staged royal engagements can change public perception. Camilla will always carry the stigma of being the woman who fractured a marriage, a figure whose journey to royalty was shaped by calculated choices designed to serve her personal ambitions. Her ascent to power has been anything but natural or unplanned. There is nothing inherently royal about Camilla, neither by birth nor by nature, yet somehow she has managed to position herself at the pinnacle of the royal hierarchy, with a crown precariously resting on her head and a labyrinth of manipulation supporting her rise. This raises the pressing question: how much longer can Camilla maintain this elaborate charade before the carefully constructed facade begins to crumble? For all her supposed charm, it's difficult to overlook that her ascension to the top of the royal family rests on a foundation riddled with instability. What does Camilla truly represent? A life defined by calculated schemes and a narrative of convenience masquerading as fate. It's also impossible to ignore the sheer absurdity of her journey to becoming queen consort. This wasn't the result of a cherished and enduring love story, but a sequence of events so steeped in drama that it's almost laughable to think the public ever embraced it as genuine destiny. The skeptics haven't forgotten. They still record the relentless tabloid headlines and the infamous photographs. Images of a young Diana and a married Charles, their lives unraveled by the affair that set everything into motion. That scandal not only humiliated Diana, but also cemented Camilla's reputation as one of the most notorious mistresses in British history. Some might argue that time has softened the public's ire, and that Camilla has earned her seat at the royal table after decades of enduring scandal and disdain. But let's not kid ourselves. This is far from a fairy tale transformation. Camilla didn't win over the public with her grace, elegance, or altruism. Instead, her journey into the monarchy was marked by calculated maneuvers, each one designed to secure her place. She wasn't the patient, beloved figure who quietly waited for her turn at the crown. On the contrary, Camilla seized every opportunity to ingratiate herself with the royal family, all the while presenting an image that was far removed from the truth. Let's take a moment to acknowledge the irony here. Camilla, once infamous as the other woman in a scandalous affair that broke the hearts of millions, now seeks to present herself as a beloved and stabilizing matriarch. Yet for those who have been paying attention, the facade is far from convincing. At best, Camilla represents a relic of a bygone era, a symbol of a monarchy desperately clinging to outdated traditions, attempting to rebrand itself with a superficial makeover. At worst, she embodies the very flaws that critics see in the royal family: self-interest, manipulation, and a disregard for the legacy of those who truly shaped the institution's narrative. This brings us to Prince William. What is unfolding now isn't merely a personal disagreement between individuals, it marks the beginning of a long overdue reckoning for the royal family. The notion that Camilla could position herself as a matriarch, a role she is fundamentally unsuited to, is nothing short of absurd. For years, the royal family has quietly allowed Camilla to integrate herself into their meticulously crafted public image. Now it falls to Prince William to stand firm. His fight is not merely for his own legacy or even to honor his mother's memory. It is for the very essence and future of the monarchy itself. As the public watches this unfolding royal drama with rapt attention, one thing is undeniable. The monarchy, as it stands, is under threat. Camilla's rise to prominence has been unconventional, to say the least, and her position at the top has always felt precarious. Even as she seems to embrace her role with the assuredness of someone who believes they've escaped accountability, both figuratively and some might argue literally, it's clear her reign will never be free of critics. And those voices of dissent are growing louder with each passing day. In stark contrast, William and Catherine's approach to their royal responsibilities signals a welcome shift from outdated traditions, offering a glimpse of what a modernized monarchy could look like. By focusing on fewer but more meaningful causes, William and Catherine have cultivated a level of public trust and admiration that Camilla has never fully achieved. Their ability to engage with younger generations, in particular, has been transformative. For the monarchy, providing a sense of relevance in a rapidly changing world, this struggle within the royal family carries profound implications. For all of Camilla's efforts to position herself as the true matriarch of the monarchy, there is something undeniably unsettling about her attempt to do so by overshadowing Princess Diana's legacy. Diana, the cherished people's princess, left an indelible mark on the world. Her untimely death forced the monarchy into an era of unprecedented public scrutiny, and her memory stands in stark contrast to the persona Camilla has sought to craft for herself. Diana, for all her imperfections, was beloved because she embodied authenticity, grace, compassion, and a heartfelt commitment to making a difference. Camilla, on the other hand, has consistently appeared more focused on safeguarding her own position than on genuinely earning the public's respect. Now, this difference in their legacies highlights the growing divide in how the monarchy is perceived and where its future may lie. And yet, in the peculiar realm of royal affairs, it is Camilla who now wears the crown, while Diana's legacy is diminished to little more than a footnote in history. The woman once scorned as the marriage wrecker now seeks to rewrite her story, presenting herself as a self-made queen. It's an oversimplification, of course, one that disregards the complexities of Charles and Diana's relationship, the intricacies of their troubled marriage, and the scandalous affair that contributed to Diana's tragic end. Yet this reimagining is emblematic of the monarchy's ongoing efforts to rebrand itself. The modern monarchy seems fixated on curating its image, attempting to make the public forget inconvenient truths and sweeping uncomfortable realities under the rug. At the heart of this rebranding lies Camilla. However, rather than ushering in a new era, her prominence has only served to highlight the institution's vulnerabilities. In striving to position herself as the face of a modern monarchy, Camilla has inadvertently exposed its fragility, its reliance on carefully constructed facades, and its struggle to reconcile its historical baggage with the expectations of a contemporary world. There is something undeniably flawed about this picture. For years, the royal family has supported a woman with no inherent claim to the throne, no natural elegance, and little genuine public respect. Now Prince William, embodying the dignity and honor of his late mother, is stepping forward to challenge this. And who could fault him? This is not a petty grievance. It is a battle for the very soul of the monarchy. Let's be clear. This is not about personal vendettas or trivial soap opera drama. What we are witnessing is far more profound and significant. Prince William is not fighting for himself. He is fighting for the future of the monarchy. In doing so, he is taking a principled stand against a figure who has long wielded power in the name of self-interest. The crown is not a mere accessory, nor is it something that can be casually claimed by someone who happens to be in the right place at the right time. It represents a legacy, a responsibility, and a trust placed in the monarchy by its people. William's actions underscore his understanding of this, as he strives to preserve the institution's integrity and ensure its survival in an ever-changing world. Camilla's relentless pursuit of power has finally reached its breaking point. Her attempts to manipulate the royal narrative have met an immovable obstacle. Prince William. Will he prevail? That remains uncertain. However, for the first time in years, the monarchy appears to be on the cusp of a much-needed reckoning. It's almost inconceivable that within a family as renowned and historically significant as the British royal family, there exists a figure like Camilla Parker Bowles. Her past, marred by scandal and controversy, makes the idea of her as a legitimate royal figure seem almost farcical. Yet here we are, confronted with the stark reality that Camilla now occupies a position at the very pinnacle of the British monarchy. The same institution that once stood as a symbol of grace, dignity, and tradition now finds itself led by someone whose presence feels fundamentally at odds with those values. It's a twist so absurd that it hasn't escaped anyone's notice. To discuss Camilla's role in the royal family is to confront the glaring irony of her rise, a journey that serves as both a reflection of and a challenge to everything the monarchy is supposed to represent. The name Camilla will always be associated with infidelity, destruction, and the tragic end of a once iconic marriage. Yet despite all of this, Camilla has managed to work her way into the royal fold to the extent that she now holds a title many believe she never deserved. She is no longer just the wife of Prince Charles. She is now Queen Consort, a title that feels not only out of place but deeply incongruous. Let's pause and appreciate the sheer audacity of the situation. Camilla, who spent years lurking in the shadows as the other woman in Charles's marriage, is now the very face of the monarchy. Her ascent to power didn't come through acts of kindness, loyalty, or sacrifice. Rather, she seized every opportunity to wedge herself into the royal spotlight. While the world mourned the heartbreaking loss of Princess Diana, Camilla was quietly maneuvering into position to claim the title of queen, an ambition that was as calculated as it was controversial. The manipulation was subtle but undeniable. Camilla's rise to the top was never driven by love. It was about seizing power, taking what she wanted, regardless of the consequences. For those who still believe that Camilla earned her place, let's examine exactly how she did it. She didn't win the public's favor through charm or elegance, qualities that are not part of her character. Instead, her path to power was paved with a series of calculated moves. First, she remained close to Charles, offering him support in the aftermath of Diana's tragic death. All the while, she carefully crafted the image of the loyal, patient lover. In contrast, Catherine has gained the public's admiration through her hands-on work with children's charities and her emphasis on mental health awareness, an approach that has made her a true figure of compassion and action. Meanwhile, William's Earthshot Prize, aimed at addressing environmental challenges, further demonstrates their dedication to meaningful change. While they were working to earn the public's respect and trust, Camilla bided her time, playing the royal game and waiting for her moment to shine. Her approach was one of quiet persistence, positioning herself strategically for the role she now holds. Let's face it, this was no Cinderella story. Camilla wasn't some quiet figure patiently waiting for her prince to arrive. She was the woman who tore apart a family, who wreaked havoc on a marriage, and somehow emerged from the wreckage as Charles's true partner. And now she sits as queen consort. If this is a fairy tale, it's one built on deceit, betrayal, and opportunism. Camilla's ascent to the throne is not the result of love or perseverance. It's the outcome of one of the most skillful PR campaigns in modern history. Let's be honest, there's nothing natural about Camilla being where she is today. She didn't earn this position the way others have. Her entire royal journey has been marked by stealth and manipulation, from the early whispers of her affair with Charles to the careful image crafting that ultimately placed her in the role she now holds. At best, Camilla is the ultimate opportunist, a woman who knows how to seize the right moment to secure her place. At worst, she embodies everything that is wrong with the modern monarchy: selfishness, manipulation, and a complete disregard for the legacy of those who truly mattered. She is the woman who replaced Diana, not only in Charles's heart but in the eyes of the public, and she has done so by systematically erasing Diana's memory from the royal narrative. Let's pause and reflect on Princess Diana's legacy. For a moment, Diana was far from perfect, but she was beloved. She captured the public's heart in a way that Camilla could never hope to. Diana symbolized authenticity, compassion, and grace, qualities that Camilla could never replicate, no matter how many royal engagements she attends. Yet, in her signature, calculated manner, Camilla has managed to rewrite history, claiming a role she never truly earned. Her attempt to position herself as the matriarch of the royal family is not just disrespectful to Diana's memory, it is a blatant power grab. As this drama continues to unfold, it is impossible not to feel a deep sense of outrage. Camilla's presence at the very top of the royal family feels inherently wrong. She doesn't belong there, and the public knows it. Yet despite this, there she is, wearing the crown and playing the part of the dutiful queen. But if you look closely, the cracks in the facade are beginning to show. The royal family is crumbling under the weight of this ongoing scandal, and Camilla's reign, if it can even be called that, will never be anything more than a footnote in the history of the British monarchy. This brings us back to Prince William. For years, he has quietly watched as his mother's legacy has been undermined by Camilla's calculated ascent to power. And now, he's finally had enough. The revelation of the monarchy's internal turmoil is inevitable. In this video, we'll explore the untold truth behind Camilla's growing influence, her surprising rise within the royal family, and why Buckingham Palace might be trying to keep these secrets under wraps. Don't miss out on discovering what could be the most shocking revelation about Catherine's role in shaping history. The contrast between Camilla and Catherine extends far beyond their roles within the monarchy. Public perception has long favored Catherine, whose relatable demeanor and sincere passion for her causes have made her a beloved figure. Camilla, on the other hand, continues to struggle with her unpopularity, a consequence of her controversial past and the perceived lack of authenticity in her public persona. While some might argue that Camilla has made strides in recent years, her efforts still fall short of the high standards set by Catherine. This disparity becomes especially apparent when considering how each royal is seen as a representative of the monarchy's future. Did you assume William was in charge? Think again. Let's delve into how her quiet strength and grace are shaping the monarchy's future in ways no one anticipated. This is a story you won't want to miss. Her increasing public presence, commitment to various charitable causes, and unwavering dedication to her family all indicate that she was prepared to step into this role following their father. In the line of succession are their children, Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis. Although not next in line, their education and upbringing are carefully overseen, preparing them for potential future responsibilities within the monarchy. This places her in a pivotal position as a mother, tasked with raising and preparing her children for the obligations that come with being part of the royal family. The succession is further complicated by the possibility of Prince Charles abdicating the throne due to his advanced age. If such a scenario unfolds, Prince William and she would find themselves thrust into leadership roles sooner than anticipated. Their responsibilities would need swift adaptation, requiring them to lead the monarchy with the same dedication and poise that have characterized their public life. Both now and in the future, she will hold a pivotal role within the royal family. As is widely recognized, her royal title and position are intrinsically linked to the British monarchy's line of succession, a highly formal and traditional process contingent on whether Prince Charles or Prince William ascends the throne. Her title and responsibilities as Prince William's wife and second in line to the throne will evolve due to her marriage into the royal family. She is currently known as Catherine, Duchess of Cambridge, should Prince Charles succeed Queen Elizabeth. And several title changes within the royal family would ensue. As the eldest son of the reigning monarch, Prince William would then assume the title of Prince of Wales, taking on his father's former title. This title bears significant ceremonial and representational duties, particularly in Wales, and has traditionally been associated with the heir apparent to the British throne. Consequently, her title will be elevated to Princess of Wales, a designation steeped in historical significance. Princess Diana famously held this title during her marriage to Prince Charles, and it remains strongly etched in public memory and affection. The tragic fate of Princess Diana and her enduring popularity have imbued the title with deep symbolic meaning, transcending its ceremonial roots. Interestingly, in recognition of the late Princess Diana and the public sentiments tied to the title, Camilla Parker Bowles, who later became the Duchess of Cornwall, chose not to adopt the title of Princess of Wales upon her marriage to Prince Charles. Instead, she assumed the title of Duchess of Cornwall, deviating from the customary practice for the wife of the Prince of Wales. As the future king's wife, Catherine will represent the monarchy, particularly in Wales, by assuming the title of Princess of Wales. This role involves attending formal events, ceremonies, and engagements that highlight Wales's cultural and historical significance within the United Kingdom. Her responsibilities will expand as she prepares to take on the role of Queen Consort upon Prince William's ascension to the throne. As Queen Consort, Catherine will support her husband in his royal duties, engage in philanthropic activities, and represent the British monarchy both domestically and internationally. This influence, often referred to as the Catherine effect, extends across various domains, including public opinion, international diplomacy, fashion, and charity work. One of her most significant responsibilities as Duchess of Cambridge is her role within the Commonwealth, a group of 54 countries with historical ties to the British Empire. Catherine plays a crucial role in strengthening ties with Commonwealth nations and supporting initiatives that promote healthcare, education, and environmental conservation. Alongside Prince William, she visits Commonwealth countries to enhance diplomatic relations and bring attention to global issues. As the dynamics within the royal family evolve, public attention is increasingly focused on William and Catherine as the future leaders of the monarchy. Their ability to modernize the institution while upholding its traditions has distinguished them as symbols of hope for the future. Meanwhile, Camilla faces challenges in maintaining her relevance as William and Catherine's prominence grows. The role of Queen Consort may become more ceremonial, highlighting how swiftly the landscape of royalty can change. Beyond her ceremonial duties, Catherine has emerged as a powerful advocate for various social causes. Through initiatives like Heads Together, which she co-founded with Prince William and Prince Harry, she has been a prominent voice in promoting mental health awareness. This campaign resonated deeply with individuals both in the UK and internationally, aiming to challenge stigma and change the conversation around mental health. In recent years, Catherine has also subtly engaged in political discussions, a departure from the traditional royal expectation of neutrality. For instance, she co-authored an article with US First Lady Jill Biden for CNN, emphasizing the importance of early childhood education. This collaboration highlighted her growing influence and ability to use her platform to address significant global issues. As Duchess of Cambridge, Catherine has been a vocal advocate for sustainable fashion, supporting both established and emerging designers. One of the most striking aspects of her fashion influence is her ability to set global trends. Items she wears often sell out within minutes of her public appearances, showcasing the profound impact of her fashion choices on a worldwide scale. The Catherine effect was clearly evident when she donned a polka dot maternity dress from SOS, which sold out in all sizes within less than 30 minutes. This phenomenon underscores her ability to influence consumer behavior and bring widespread attention to brands. Her fashion choices consistently spotlight regional and European designers, significantly boosting their visibility. Notable designers like Jenny Packham, known for her bridal and evening wear, and Catherine Walker, celebrated for her elegant and timeless designs, have benefited greatly from Catherine's support. By wearing their creations at prominent public events, she not only endorses these designers, but also elevates their craftsmanship and creativity on a global scale. Catherine has also championed responsible fashion consumption by incorporating sustainability into her wardrobe choices. A prime example is her recent rewear of an Alexander McQueen coat at a Remembrance Day service, demonstrating her commitment to sustainable fashion practices. This gesture, highlighting the versatility of classic pieces and promoting sustainability, to reduce fashion's environmental impact, resonated deeply with both fans and fashion enthusiasts. The Duchess of Cambridge is admired globally for her style, which seamlessly blends traditional elegance with a modern edge. Her carefully curated wardrobe reflects both her royal status and personal fashion preferences, whether attending formal state dinners, charity galas, or community events. Catherine's love for tailored coats, chic dresses, and sophisticated evening gowns has solidified her image as a style icon whose influence extends far beyond the royal sphere. Beyond setting trends and driving sales, she has impacted the fashion industry by fostering a sense of relatability and accessibility. Her knack for pairing high-end designer pieces with more affordable fashion, like the SOS dress, showcases her practical and thoughtful approach to fashion. Catherine's accessibility has endeared her to people from all walks of life, making her fashion choices both aspirational and attainable. However, she is much more than just Prince William's supportive wife in the British royal family. She plays an active role in preparing their children, Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis, for their future roles within the Commonwealth and the monarchy. Beyond raising her children, Catherine's responsibilities as the future king's wife and a potential future queen consort include ensuring that they receive the education and skills necessary to carry out their royal duties. Her unique position as both mother and mentor is rooted in her belief that her children will one day play pivotal roles in the kingdom. Their upbringing balances typical childhood experiences, such as education and social development, with specialized training designed to prepare them for leadership roles within the monarchy, particularly for Prince George, as the eldest son and third in line to the throne. Prince George is being prepared from an early age for future responsibilities, which may include managing the Commonwealth and representing the British monarchy on the international stage. Princess Charlotte, as the only daughter of Prince William and Catherine, also holds a significant position in the line of succession. Behind the scenes of Buckingham Palace, tensions simmer as the transition of power looms ever closer. Camilla, pragmatic and calculated, appears to be clinging tightly to her current role. Her reluctance to relinquish responsibilities, even as discussions about the eventual shift to the next generation grow louder, hints at a deeper unease for a woman whose journey to her current position has been marked by controversy and public scrutiny. The stakes have never been higher. Charlotte has greatly benefited from Catherine's teachings on royal traditions and customs, including the famous royal wave, an essential element of ceremonial events and public appearances. Catherine's role in balancing her children's royal inheritance with a loving upbringing is evident in her careful introduction of them to royal traditions as they grow within the royal family. Prince Louis, the youngest of the Cambridge children, also benefits from her guidance. Although he is further down the line of succession, she ensures that he receives the same foundational education and exposure to royal customs as his older siblings. Her parenting approach within the royal family blends both contemporary and traditional values. Together with Prince William, they strive to provide their children with a well-rounded upbringing that allows them to explore their passions and interests while understanding their responsibilities as potential future leaders of the Commonwealth. This supportive environment aims to prepare them for the duties and challenges that lie ahead. As is widely known, Catherine and Prince William have taken on increasingly significant roles within the British royal family, stepping into their positions as future monarchs with a strong sense of responsibility. Following Prince Philip's death, Prince William and Catherine have stepped up to take on more public and representational duties. This shift has been particularly notable in light of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's decision to step back from royal activities and the increasing ages of other senior royal family members. As a result, William and Catherine, the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge, have become a consistent and reliable presence, often attending important public events and engagements in place of more senior family members during times of transition. Their active involvement has helped strengthen the monarchy's connection with the public, ensuring continuity within the royal family. Catherine, in particular, has emerged as a pillar of stability and strength. Both the general public and royal insiders have expressed admiration for her composed demeanor and unwavering commitment to her royal duties. She has shown herself to be adept at balancing the demands of royal life with her roles as a wife, mother, and public figure. Catherine and William's approach has been particularly noteworthy due to their astute management of media relations, which has allowed them to evolve from being seen simply as a legally wed couple to becoming relatable and approachable future leaders. Over time, they have made efforts to connect more directly with the public, especially through social media and other online platforms, such as launching their own YouTube channel. This initiative is part of their broader strategy to engage with a younger, more diverse audience, showcasing their adaptability and progressive approach to royal communication. In addition to their shared roles within the royal family, comparisons between Catherine and her late mother-in-law, Princess Diana, are often drawn, particularly in regard to their influence on public opinion, fashion, and charitable work. Catherine, known for her kindness, generosity, and dedication to charity, is frequently compared to Diana, who remains a timeless symbol of humanitarianism and compassion. One of the most striking similarities between the two women is their ability to form a personal connection with others, a trait that has endeared them both to the public. Like Diana, Catherine's generosity and empathy have a remarkable ability to touch people's hearts and create a positive impact. Her involvement with nonprofits and community organizations often reflects a genuine commitment to causes such as children's welfare, mental health, and the arts, closely mirroring Diana's passionate support for similar causes. In terms of style, Catherine has also honored Princess Diana's iconic look, maintaining its influence even decades after her passing. Diana, renowned for setting fashion trends in the 1980s and 1990s, continues to shape fashion today. Catherine has made a point of paying tribute to her late mother-in-law's legacy while still maintaining her own unique sense of style. Many of her outfit choices evoke Diana's timeless elegance and flair, whether she is wearing elegant evening gowns or more casual attire. Both women are admired for their inspirational qualities, and beyond their public roles and fashion influence, Diana left a lasting impact on the world through her pioneering humanitarian efforts, such as raising awareness about HIV/AIDS and advocating against landmines. Similarly, Catherine has carved out her own charitable path, championing causes that are close to her heart and using her position to drive meaningful change. In contrast, Camilla's insistence on holding on to her role is not surprising. For years, her story has been one of self-preservation and calculated positioning. Even now, her carefully constructed public image as a loyal consort seems at odds with the realities behind palace doors. Those close to the royal family have spoken about her reluctance to pass on the baton, especially to Catherine, whose effortless grace and widespread popularity cast a long shadow over the Queen Consort's increasingly uncertain presence. The dynamics within the British royal family have faced greater scrutiny in recent years, particularly following Harry and Meghan Markle's decision to step down from their royal roles and move to the United States. Their departure sparked discussions about modernizing the monarchy and addressing issues like discrimination and mental health within the institution, prompting a broader conversation about the future of the royal family. During this period, Meghan Markle and Prince Harry openly addressed their experiences with prejudice and the lack of support they encountered within the royal household. Their forthrightness highlighted the necessity for reforms within the centuries-old institution and brought mental health to the forefront of royal news. Although she has refrained from publicly addressing specific disputes within the royal family, Catherine has consistently prioritized her humanitarian efforts and initiatives to promote mental health awareness. Amidst these discussions, she has played a pivotal role in challenging stigma and offering support to those affected by mental health issues both in the UK and internationally. As a prominent advocate for mental health, her contributions have been significant. Through initiatives such as Heads Together, younger members of the royal family like Catherine are often scrutinized for their ability to engage with contemporary issues and embrace societal changes. She is widely regarded as a key figure within the royal family and remains a prominent public figure. Catherine's approach to royal responsibilities balances respect for traditional duties with addressing pressing social issues that resonate with younger generations. Reports suggest that Meghan has maintained contact with Catherine despite the physical distance between them. This continued communication indicates that despite the challenges and conflicts within the royal family, there remains a foundation for dialogue and potential collaboration. As Catherine navigates her roles as a wife, mother, and public figure, her influence within the royal family is likely to evolve. Her commitment to charitable initiatives, advocacy for mental health, and adaptability to changing societal expectations position her as a pivotal figure in shaping the monarchy's future direction. Within the royal family, Catherine's potential to one day join Prince William as Queen Consort garners attention, even sparking envy from some, including Camilla. While Camilla occupies a unique and significant role in the monarchy, her journey toward widespread acceptance has faced challenges, particularly due to the enduring legacy of Princess Diana, Prince Charles's first wife. Initially, segments of the public devoted to Princess Diana's memory viewed Camilla's relationship with Prince Charles, dating back to before his marriage to Diana, with suspicion and disdain. This sentiment lingered even after Charles and Camilla wed, leading to mixed reactions as Camilla assumed her role within the royal family. By 2005, she struggled to win over public support, her image overshadowed by her association with the breakdown of Charles's first marriage and the enduring reverence for Diana following her tragic passing. In contrast, Catherine's popularity soared, with the public widely embracing her as a future queen consort. Camilla's connection to past controversies initially hindered her acceptance, but over the years, her reputation has steadily improved. This transformation is largely due to her active participation in charitable causes and advocacy work. Camilla has made significant strides in supporting victims of domestic abuse and championing women's rights, which has helped reshape public perception and highlight her contributions as a member of the royal family. Camilla's outspoken support for preventing abuse, empowering victims, and raising awareness has earned her widespread respect and admiration. In her notable remarks, she has highlighted the importance of recognizing various forms of abuse and emphasized the need for collective efforts to support victims and prevent such incidents. Her unwavering dedication to these social causes has shifted public perception, demonstrating her commitment to using her position to champion meaningful change and advocate for vital issues. Recent controversies, including Prince Harry's revelations about his strained relationship with his father during a high-profile interview with Oprah Winfrey, briefly cast a shadow over the royal family, including Charles and Camilla. Despite these challenges, Camilla's steadfast devotion to advocacy and philanthropy has solidified her role as a respected and valued member of the royal family. Her contributions further enhance her position as a potential future queen consort, showcasing her ability to balance personal responsibility with a commitment to social progress. The future of the British monarchy remains a topic of extensive discussion and speculation, particularly regarding the succession of Prince Charles and Camilla versus Prince William and Catherine. As the royal family navigates evolving cultural attitudes and societal perceptions, questions surrounding the monarchy's relevance and public support have gained greater prominence. At the heart of this debate lies the public's perception of the institution itself and its role in contemporary society. A stark contrast exists between Camilla and Catherine in how they are perceived and the roles they fulfill. Camilla's position has long been overshadowed by her controversial history, while Catherine has emerged as a symbol of modernity and accessibility. Her ability to connect with individuals from diverse backgrounds, coupled with her steadfast commitment to impactful causes, distinguishes her in ways that Camilla has struggled to emulate. This divergence is further highlighted by their respective approaches to their roles. While Catherine is widely seen as embodying the qualities of a modern royal, Camilla's past continues to influence her public image, creating a clear divide between the two women and how they navigate their responsibilities and the expectations placed upon them. Catherine's emphasis on a select number of meaningful initiatives reflects her dedication to creating a lasting impact, while Camilla's engagements often come across as routine and less connected. Over time, public attitudes toward traditional institutions like the monarchy have evolved, with some questioning the relevance and necessity of kings and queens in modern society. This perspective is often tied to concerns over the use of public funds to support the royal family's activities and lifestyle. Following Queen Elizabeth II's reign, Prince Charles and Camilla, Duchess of Cornwall, are next in line to ascend the throne. However, their roles as future king and queen consort come amid ongoing debates about the monarchy's purpose and relevance in the 21st century. These challenges are further compounded by the public's divided opinion of Camilla, shaped by her association with the end of Charles's first marriage and the initial skepticism surrounding her suitability as a future queen consort. This dynamic underscores the complexities the monarchy faces in maintaining its position and relevance while navigating shifting societal expectations and perceptions. In contrast, Prince William and Catherine have established themselves as popular and relatable figures within the royal family. Their warm demeanor, dedication to philanthropic work, and ability to connect with diverse audiences have earned them widespread respect and admiration. Catherine, in particular, is celebrated as a modern fashion icon and a passionate advocate for children's welfare and mental health awareness, highlighting Prince William and Catherine as prominent representatives of the royal family may be a deliberate effort to maintain public interest and support for the monarchy. Their youthful energy and active engagement with contemporary issues resonate with younger generations and other groups who value the monarchy's role in promoting humanitarian efforts and fostering national unity. The couple's approach also reflects a progressive take on royal duties. By modernizing aspects of royal activities, such as utilizing digital platforms and social media to connect with broader audiences, they demonstrate an adaptive and forward-thinking attitude that aligns with the expectations of a changing society. This strategy not only enhances their appeal, but also reinforces the relevance of the monarchy in the modern age. This adaptability is regarded as crucial for addressing the challenges posed by shifting social norms and expectations. Critics of the monarchy argue that it perpetuates outdated traditions and privileges that conflict with modern democratic principles. Broader concerns about transparency, accountability, and fairness are underscored by calls for greater scrutiny of royal finances and the use of public funds to support royal residences and official engagements. In this context, the potential succession of Prince William and Catherine could be viewed as a strategy to revitalize the monarchy's public image and appeal to a wider audience. By focusing on contemporary issues such as social justice, environmental sustainability, and mental health, they aim to demonstrate the monarchy's relevance in addressing pressing societal challenges. Since joining the British royal family, Catherine has undergone a significant transformation, adapting to substantial changes in her personal and professional responsibilities. She has embraced the role of a royal, which involves adhering to strict customs and protocols. Should she become queen consort, this aspect of royal life is expected to become even more demanding. Royal protocols, which govern behavior and conduct, are central to preserving the monarchy's dignity and traditions. These rules ensure consistency and respect in public appearances and interactions. Some notable customs include not shaking hands unless initiated, refraining from signing autographs to prevent misuse of the royal signature, and adhering to stringent guidelines in all official engagements. Catherine's ability to navigate these demands with grace underscores her commitment to upholding the monarchy's legacy while embracing her evolving role. Royal protocol governs even the most ordinary activities, including public displays of affection, selecting one's seat at official functions, and even driving oneself. As Queen Consort, Catherine would assume an even more prominent role within the royal family, requiring a heightened level of adherence to these rules and responsibilities that extend far beyond ceremonial appearances. Her duties would encompass official events, diplomatic engagements, and representing the monarchy on both national and international stages. Throughout her tenure as a senior royal, Catherine has consistently demonstrated grace, composure, and dedication to her multifaceted roles as a wife, mother, and public figure. Her approach to royal responsibilities reflects a genuine passion for meaningful causes, including early childhood development, mental health advocacy, and support for the arts. These efforts highlight her desire to make a positive and lasting impact both within the royal institution and in the wider community. While the role of Queen Consort will bring additional challenges and restrictions, Catherine's proven ability to navigate the complexities of royal life indicates she is well prepared for the responsibilities that lie ahead. Her poise, adaptability, and unwavering commitment to her duties position her as a capable and inspiring figure, ready to embrace the demands of this elevated role when the time comes. Behind the ornate facade of Buckingham Palace, a story unfolds. With the complexity and tension of a Shakespearean drama, Camilla, Queen Consort, often described as the monarchy's most reluctant figure, now faces the inexorable tides of change, alongside the delicate question of her enduring relevance within the royal institution. For a woman who rose from the shadows of scandal to claim her place beside the throne, rumors of her reluctance to yield any ground have only intensified the underlying friction within the House of Windsor. Public perception remains a cornerstone in shaping the legacy of any royal figure, and here Catherine unequivocally surpasses her stepmother-in-law. While Camilla's path to her current position has been overshadowed by controversies and public doubts, Catherine's journey has been marked by consistent admiration and respect. Her seamless ability to fulfill her royal duties while maintaining her role as a dedicated mother has endeared her to the public in ways that Camilla has struggled to achieve. Catherine's relatability, poise, and focus on impactful causes further solidify her place as a modern royal figure. By comparison, the contrast between these two women underscores the evolving dynamics within the monarchy and the critical role public opinion plays in securing its future relevance. This stands in stark contrast to Camilla, whose relationship with the royal family has often been marked by tension and discomfort. Beneath the grandeur of Balmoral's ceilings, a power struggle unfolded, cloaked in the tradition of the monarchy, but crackling with the friction of ego and competing ambitions. What was intended to be a moment for the monarchy to chart a course for future generations, securing its legacy, soon became overshadowed by Queen Camilla's resistance, turning the entire summit into a public spectacle of royal discord. Prince William, with his steadfast push for modernization, emerged as the driving force behind this shift. He proposed reforms that any forward-thinking institution would regard as essential for maintaining relevance, streamlining excess, refreshing royal duties, and redistributing responsibilities to better engage the younger generation. These were practical and visionary ideas that one might expect from the future king. However, for Camilla, such changes were perceived as an attack on her cherished status, sparking resistance and amplifying the underlying tensions within the royal family. Camilla has fiercely defended her position as Queen Consort since stepping into the role, and the tension within the royal family was palpable. It soon became evident that her opposition to Prince William's proposals wasn't simply about logistics or tradition. It was deeply personal. One of the primary points of contention was William's suggestion to reduce financial support for Camilla's extended family. To many, such a proposal would seem reasonable, especially given the monarchy's increasing scrutiny over its lavish spending. Why should distant relatives continue to receive royal funding at a time when the family itself faces public pressure to show restraint? Yet for Camilla, this proposal felt like an affront, an attack on her very position within the family. Her reaction was one of indignation, as if her very legitimacy in the royal hierarchy had been challenged. It wasn't merely about money. It was a fight for relevance, a stark reminder that her grip on the royal spotlight may not be as secure as she believed. It's no surprise that Camilla would struggle to relinquish her ground, particularly with Catherine and Sophie stepping into roles that she once occupied. This shift only added fuel to the fire of royal tensions, as it symbolized the changing of the guard, one that Camilla was unwilling to accept without resistance. For a woman whose path to royal acceptance was already fraught with controversy, witnessing the redistribution of her roles and responsibilities must have felt like a profound blow. Yet a blow, one might ask, what did Camilla expect? This is not her monarchy to shape in her own image. The future belongs to William and Catherine, not to her. And they have every right to start crafting it in a way that aligns with their vision. The whole proposal to transfer the patronage of the NSPCC to Sophie and raise Catherine's public profile only seemed to heighten Camilla's insecurities, which were as evident as they were unbecoming. Reports suggest that she lost her temper, a display that many felt was uncharacteristic of a queen consort. However, Camilla's insecurities have never been subtle. From her barely concealed disdain towards Catherine to her ongoing efforts to assert her place at the pinnacle of the royal hierarchy, Camilla's actions consistently reveal a deep-seated fear that she may never truly feel as though she belongs. The summit only served to lay bare Camilla's insecurities, exposing her. Fear in its most raw form. It further shaped public perception of her as a figure disconnected from the monarchy's evolving future. This was not advantageous for her image. In contrast, Catherine's poise under pressure garnered widespread admiration, solidifying her reputation as a composed and capable future queen. Meanwhile, Camilla's resistance to change only reinforced her standing as a relic of a bygone era, a symbol of opposition to the very progress that William and Catherine represent. What stands out in this unfolding drama is not just the conflict, but the stark contrast between the two women. While Catherine has consistently demonstrated humility and warmth, earning the genuine respect of the public and her peers, Camilla has often relied on manipulation and her status to cling to her position. It's a classic narrative, the dignified rising star versus the insecure veteran desperate to hold on. Camilla's insecurities run deeper than just a fear of fading into irrelevance. They reflect a profound awareness that her acceptance into the royal family was always conditional, or always tainted by controversy. While she may have secured the title of Queen Consort, she has never fully managed to rid herself of the stigma that accompanied her rise. Her recent outburst only underscores the fragility of her position within the monarchy. Despite all her efforts to solidify her place, the younger royals, poised and ready to take on more significant roles, only highlight the uncertainty of Camilla's. Standing, the monarchy is undergoing a transformation, shifting towards a future that prioritizes relatability and transparency over the elitism and secrecy of the past. In this new era, Camilla's brand of self-serving ambition seems increasingly out of place. Her reaction to change is almost laughable in its predictability. It's as if she believes she is somehow immune to the inevitable evolution of the monarchy. The sheer audacity of clinging to outdated traditions while the younger royals push the institution into the 21st century is frankly baffling. Prince William, with his insightful grasp of the public's shifting expectations, has consistently introduced initiatives aimed at both modernizing and fortifying the monarchy. In contrast, Camilla appears to embody resistance to change, akin to a steadfast traditionalist figure reluctant to embrace reforms that could enhance the monarchy's image. The irony lies in her position as queen. while she seemingly opposes the very values necessary for the monarchy's relevance in contemporary society. The dynamic between William and Catherine further highlights the evolving priorities within the royal institution. Their partnership serves as a pillar of strength for the monarchy and mirrors the public's growing preference for royal figures who exude authenticity, relatability, and a sincere commitment to fostering positive change. This stands in stark contrast to Camilla's adherence to a more conventional and hierarchical approach, which increasingly feels out of step with the rapid pace of societal change. What exactly is Camilla trying to protect by clinging so tightly to these outdated traditions? Is it the fear of losing her relevance? From an outside perspective, it's evident that the more she resists change, the more out of touch she appears. There's no escaping the fact that she's fighting a losing battle. William and Catherine, on the other hand, have effortlessly established themselves as the future of the monarchy. Camilla, however, seems to hold on to her position with an almost palpable sense of desperation, seemingly unaware that the world around her is evolving, and that the monarchy must evolve with it to remain relevant. Consider, for instance, her reaction to William's proposals to streamline royal duties and reduce unnecessary expenses. Instead of welcoming these progressive ideas, which could undoubtedly strengthen the monarchy's connection with the public, she erects barriers of resistance. It's as though her priority lies more in preserving her own influence than in truly serving the people or the crown. There's an almost tragic irony in watching Camilla cling so fiercely to her position, as though she's unaware that the future has already left her behind. Meanwhile, William continues to ascend with ease, embodying the kind of leadership qualities that Camilla can only aspire to. And then there's Catherine, beloved by the public, who demonstrates what it truly means to represent the monarchy. With grace, intelligence, and compassion, Catherine has an undeniable ability to captivate the hearts of the people, something Camilla, despite her title and years of experience, has never been able to achieve. While Camilla wrestles with her desire for influence and her inability to forge a genuine connection with the public, Catherine has already cemented her role as the future of the royal family. She carries herself with quiet confidence, never needing to raise her voice or resort to theatrics to make an impact. Every step Catherine takes is thoughtful, and every event she attends only solidifies her reputation as a compassionate and competent royal figure. It's not just Catherine's grace that distinguishes her from Camilla, but her profound understanding of what it truly means to embody the royal role. Catherine doesn't strive to dominate or overshadow. Instead, her focus is on service. This approach stands in stark contrast to Camilla, who, despite her many years within the institution, still seems to lack a genuine grasp of what true leadership entails. Where Catherine nurtures unity and earns respect, Camilla often sows division and fuels resentment. Camilla's failure to embrace the essence of the monarchy only underscores how disconnected she has become. The contrast between her and the younger generation is striking. Camilla seems to have forgotten that the monarchy is not a static relic of the past, but a living institution that must evolve to thrive. By clinging to outdated traditions, she risks alienating the public even further. She is not the future of the monarchy, but a relic of the past, desperately holding on to relevance in a world that has already moved forward. William and Catherine undeniably embody the future of the monarchy. They recognize that for the institution to remain relevant, it must evolve to resonate with the lives of the people. What's particularly remarkable is how seamlessly the royal family has adjusted to Catherine's leadership. In stark contrast, Camilla is often seen like a hesitant participant in royal duties, as if waiting for guidance on what to do next. Catherine, however, has embraced her responsibilities with unwavering determination, meeting every challenge with the grace and composure that the monarchy so urgently requires. It's no wonder the public has embraced Catherine in a way they never have with Camilla. Catherine's relatability and authenticity shine through in every public engagement, making her a natural favorite. Meanwhile, Camilla's reserved and sometimes awkward demeanor serves as a constant reminder of her controversial past. This comparison doesn't suggest that Catherine is a perfect paragon, while Camilla is a villain, far from it. However, when placed side by side, the differences between the two are strikingly clear. Catherine doesn't need to manipulate the system or play political games to secure her position. She has earned her place through genuine dedication and relentless hard work. In contrast, Camilla appears more preoccupied with clinging to power than with earning the respect of the people she is meant to serve. It's almost comical how she insists on preserving the status quo when it's clear the monarchy needs a unifying figure, not someone who exacerbates divisions. Camilla's resistance to change, coupled with her defensive attitude about her family's position within the royal hierarchy, highlights her insecurity. It almost seems as though she believes the monarchy would collapse without her presence. The truth, however, is quite the opposite. The institution would likely flourish without her persistent meddling. And then there's her charitable work, which often feels more like a convenient way to distract from her underlying motivations than a genuine effort to make a difference. While her contributions may serve some purpose, they pale in comparison to the sincerity and impact demonstrated by Catherine's tireless efforts. Take the National Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Children, for instance, a patronage that Camilla appeared to take on more out of obligation than genuine passion for the cause. Now, with Sophie stepping into the role, the transition feels both seamless and appropriate. Sophie brings the genuine compassion and dedication needed to engage meaningfully in such vital work. In contrast, Camilla has often seemed more preoccupied with the titles and prestige that come with her position than with actually driving meaningful change. It's increasingly evident that the monarchy requires leaders who can set aside personal ambition and focus on the greater good of the institution. William and Catherine embody these qualities effortlessly. They represent a modern monarchy defined by humility, service, and a connection to the people they serve. Camilla, however, remains tethered to the past, seemingly unwilling to relinquish the power and influence she worked so hard to secure. While the monarchy looks to the future, Camilla appears determined to hold on to a version of it that no longer resonates with the public. As Charles's reign unfolds, the inevitability of William and Catherine's eventual ascension becomes increasingly clear. This impending transition has undoubtedly exacerbated the underlying tensions within the royal household. For Camilla, the idea of stepping aside presents significant challenges, not least because it would mean yielding the spotlight to Catherine, whose popularity and influence far surpass her own. Catherine's natural charisma and her ability to connect with a generation yearning for relevance and progress within the monarchy make her a formidable figure in this new era. As the royal family continues to navigate the complexities of modern Britain, it's evident that the monarchy's future belongs to those who understand the importance of adaptability. William and Catherine are uniquely positioned to lead this evolution, representing a forward-thinking vision of leadership. Meanwhile, Camilla remains rooted in an outdated mindset, fighting to preserve a status quo that no longer aligns with the monarchy's needs. Camilla's greatest concern may not be a struggle for the throne, but rather the waning patience of the public. In the end, she risks being overshadowed, not only by William and Catherine, but by the very institution she has sought to protect. The monarchy's progress will move forward, with or without her willingness to evolve. Camilla is undeniably a walking contradiction. On one hand, she has secured one of the most prestigious titles imaginable, Queen Consort, with all the grandeur and ceremony that accompanies it. Yet on the other hand, every public appearance, speech, and charitable effort she undertakes only underscores the widening gap between her and the younger generation of royals. While she clings to a vision of royalty rooted firmly in the past, the monarchy is evolving in real time, leaving her scrambling to stay relevant. It's not for lack of effort. Camilla has certainly tried, but no amount of pearls, poised smiles, or dutiful appearances can disguise the reality. She represents a relic of a monarchy that feels increasingly out of touch with modern society. The more desperately she tries to hold on to this fading image, the more she risks becoming a relic herself. The Bamel Summit was, if nothing else, a glaring showcase of Camilla's inability to adapt to the times. Imagine standing at the epicenter of a monarchy undergoing a generational shift and still stubbornly refusing to change. It's almost tragic, really. On one side, you have William, a refreshing presence within the royal family, working tirelessly to guide the monarchy toward a progressive future. On the other, there's Camilla like a heavy anchor, resisting every effort to move forward. Rather than embracing the inevitable changes, she stubbornly digs in her heels, clinging to the status she fought so hard to secure. After all these years, you'd think she'd have enough confidence in her role to allow the monarchy to evolve. Instead, her resistance is reminiscent of a teenager throwing a tantrum for not getting her way. And then there's her stance on financial support for her family, a sticking point that was, quite frankly, hard to stomach. In a monarchy built on centuries of tradition and public service, Camilla's apparent desperation to maintain control over the purse strings was strikingly out of place. Who does she think she's fooling? While trying to project the image of a gracious and benevolent monarch, she's quietly pulling every lever available to benefit herself and her family. It's as though she's forgotten the true purpose of the monarchy, to serve the people, not to indulge in personal ambition. Yet there she is, clinging to power as the world around her moves forward. Camilla is fighting tooth and nail to solidify her position, completely indifferent to the optics. Enter Princess Catherine, who effortlessly exudes the poise and grace that Camilla can only dream of. Catherine has become the epitome of modern royalty, embodying the future of the monarchy, and it's not surprising that she doesn't need a title handed to her, as Camilla did. Catherine has earned her place through intelligence, grace, and an unparalleled ability to connect with the public in a way that has made her deeply beloved. Unlike Camilla, who seems to be mired in constant petty conflicts, Catherine represents everything the monarchy needs moving forward: dignity, integrity, and a profound understanding of her role. It's not that Catherine is flawless, but when compared to Camilla's desperate attempts to cling to relevance, she comes across as the very embodiment of royal virtue. The divide between Camilla and Catherine is not just about their contrasting personalities, it's a stark contrast in their visions for the monarchy. Catherine looks to the future with the understanding that the royal family must evolve to remain relevant. She doesn't view the monarchy as something to be preserved for her own gain. Instead, she embraces the concept of duty, serving the people in a way that fosters respect, admiration, and yes, even love. Camilla, however, seems to view the monarchy as something to hoard, protect, and use to elevate her own ego. Camilla's relentless resistance to modernization is rooted in her fear of losing the one thing she spent her entire life pursuing: power. It's painful to watch as she clings to relevance in a world that no longer values her. Meanwhile, the younger royals, particularly William and Catherine, are making their mark on history, while Camilla struggles to keep up, terrified of being forgotten. The more she resists change, the more she reveals herself as a relic of a bygone era. Every public appearance, every word she utters only widens the divide between her and the modern monarchy that the public craves. And then there's her tendency to undermine others. Take the incident with Princess Sophie, for example. When Sophie, poised and ready to take on more responsibilities, stepped in to take over the patronage of the National Society for the prevention of cruelty to children, how did Camilla respond? She sulked. There's nothing quite like throwing a tantrum to show you're ready for a position as queen consort. The reality is that Camilla simply doesn't understand what it means to serve. She's never truly grasped the concept of duty or selflessness. Catherine, by contrast, embraces this role with ease. She embodies what the monarchy should stand for, an institution that exists for the people, not a vanity project for the privileged few. This is the real difference between them. As time passes, it becomes increasingly clear that Catherine, with her warmth, intelligence, and innate ability to connect with others, will be the true face of the monarchy in the future. The contrasting working styles of Charles, Camilla, and the younger generation further highlight the difficulties and tensions inherent in this transition. Charles's traditionalist approach, often centered on an unwavering commitment to duty and protocol, stands in stark contrast to the more modern and adaptable methods embraced by William and Catherine. This generational divide is not just about differing preferences, but reflects broader cultural and societal shifts that have influenced the monarchy's evolution. Yet, in her apparent wisdom, Camilla believes she can continue playing the same old game, assuming that things will remain unchanged. She is oblivious to the fact that the rules have shifted. Camilla is no longer the young, ambitious mistress vying for Charles's attention. She's no longer part of the other woman club, clawing her way to the top. In theory, she is now the queen consort. Yet she continues to behave as if she's still fighting tooth and nail to secure her position. The world has moved on, and she has failed to recognize that. Camilla, perhaps it's time you did too. Every time she speaks, every time she disrupts, progress is like watching a slow-motion car crash. You can see it coming, you know it's happening, and yet you can't look away. Camilla's inability to embrace change, her constant interference, and her blatant disregard for the future of the monarchy all lead to one undeniable conclusion. She is the embodiment of what the monarchy no longer needs. So here we stand at a crossroads. William and Catherine are poised to lead the monarchy into the future, while Camilla appears stuck in the past, too afraid to relinquish the role she has fought so long to secure. If there's any justice, Camilla will eventually fade into the background, a mere footnote in the history of the monarchy. Meanwhile, the younger generation will step up, and the monarchy will be all the stronger for it. Let's be clear, William, Catherine, and their children represent the future, while Camilla's reign, though brief, will likely be remembered as little more than a glitch in the royal timeline. As we reach the conclusion of this dramatic narrative of royal intrigue and personal ambition, we find ourselves at a point of no return. Camilla, the woman who clawed her way to the throne, still fails to understand that the monarchy is no longer hers to command. Her struggle for power exemplifies how, without grace or vision, authority can quickly become a burden. Her relentless attempts to cling to a bygone monarchy, one where titles and privileges were earned not through duty, but by simply outlasting the competition, are starting to unravel. Her resistance to change is not just a personal flaw. It is a glaring reflection of how disconnected she is from the direction the monarchy must take to survive in the modern world. Camilla's inability to adapt, her constant undermining of the younger generation, and her relentless clinging to the remnants of power she desperately craves only serve to highlight her many shortcomings. Time and again she has been exposed as a woman who longs to be seen as a queen but lacks the wisdom, humility, and understanding that true leadership requires. In stark contrast, we have William and Catherine, whose vision for the future of the monarchy is not only modern, but deeply rooted in a genuine sense of duty. William, with his calm demeanor and progressive mindset, represents the future Camilla is so reluctant to acknowledge. Catherine, poised, graceful, and admired by all, stands as the perfect counterpart, embodying the values of duty, integrity, and service that the monarchy needs to carry it into the future. The Bamel Summit, in its glaring display of Camilla's immaturity and insecurity, has only underscored one crucial point. The monarchy will thrive when it embraces the next generation. When it moves beyond the past, allowing for fresh ideas and fresh faces to step forward, William and Catherine, alongside their children, offer a new vision, one that can lead the monarchy out of the shadows of the past and into a future where relevance and respect are earned through duty, not entitlement. As the world watches, it's clear that Camilla's reign will be remembered as a brief, clumsy interlude, an era where a woman struggled to maintain her position. In a world that is rapidly changing, the monarchy will continue to evolve, with William and Catherine at the forefront. Their unshakable sense of duty and forward-thinking approach will guide it into a new era, one where the royal family becomes a symbol of modern values rather than outdated power struggles. Amid the shifting tides of the British monarchy, few stories capture the public's attention, quite like those of Queen Elizabeth II's descendants, their allegiances, their inheritances, and the legacies they carry. When the Queen passed, she left behind not just an estate, but a complex web of legacies, each carrying its own unspoken judgments and consequences. To the surprise of some, Harry and Meghan's departure from royal life, marked by their desire for independence, has placed them increasingly at odds with the throne. Then there is Andrew, who, amid scandal and disgrace, continues to linger as a reminder of the monarchy's missteps. In stark contrast, William and Catherine stand firm as guardians of the future monarchy, a beacon of stability in this ongoing. Family saga. Harry, once seen as a cheeky and beloved royal, has found himself in a precarious situation. Long before his departure from the UK, he seemed to be carving out a less conventional role, often regarded as the spare to William's heir. Yet after his abrupt exit in 2020, it quickly became clear that the perks of royalty don't follow. To sunny California. Financial independence was a central rallying cry, yet here we are years later with Harry reflecting on how his inheritance from Diana, estimated at around $10 million, was the only thing keeping him from financial ruin after his father cut him off. It's quite fascinating, really, to hear Harry, despite having lucrative Netflix deals and Spotify contracts, still lamenting his financial struggles while dining at Hollywood celebrity tables. Meanwhile, Catherine's rise to prominence has not only solidified her position as the future queen consort, but has also brought into sharper focus the limitations of Camilla's influence. While Camilla's attempts to leave a lasting mark on the monarchy often seem forced and calculated, Catherine's contributions are characterized by a genuine sincerity that resonates with both the public and the wider royal family. This stark difference in approach highlights the growing divide between the two women and raises questions about Camilla's ability to stay relevant as Catherine's popularity continues to ascend. When Harry sat down with Oprah in early 2021, he revealed his financial grievances. This wasn't merely a personal confession, it became a public airing of family issues for the world to witness. "I was cut off financially," he declared, adding that without his mother's legacy, they wouldn't have survived. The irony is almost palpable. Diana's legacy was intended to support her son within the royal fold, not to fund a life halfway around the world, punctuated by tell-all interviews and public statements of discontent. Meghan's expectations of royal life and its subsequent inheritance might also be just as misaligned. Reports from reliable sources such as Forbes indicate that Meghan Markle was never a recipient of the Queen Mother's $100 million estate. With her dramatic departure from royal life, Meghan's royal privileges have significantly diminished. Her expectations of inheriting a portion of royal wealth appear to have been quashed, as confirmed by Radar Online in 2022, which suggested that Meghan was unlikely to receive any of the Queen's valuable jewels. Although Catherine's alleged inheritance of a modest $1,000 raised some curiosity, it is evident that the Queen's true treasures will likely go to those who continue to uphold the royal tradition, a reward for loyalty rather than mere affiliation. There are even whispers that any royal jewels potentially passed on to Meghan's family would go directly to her daughter Lily, as though bypassing Meghan herself, suggesting she does not fully align with the royal ethos. Let us also remember Andrew, whose tarnished reputation belies the symbolic significance of his inheritance. Among the late Queen's cherished possessions, he was entrusted with 2 of her beloved corgis, Muck and Sandy. This act carries a poetic resonance. The corgis, emblematic of the Queen's enduring legacy, simultaneously highlight Andrew's fall from grace. Once regarded as a favored son with a promising future, he now occupies a peripheral role in public life. The decision to place the Queen's dogs in his care appears laden with complex emotions, a poignant reminder of his former standing within the family, juxtaposed with the solitude that now defines his existence. In stark contrast, William and Catherine stand as exemplars of the monarchy's steadfastness and continuity. While some family members chase the allure of fame or strive to redefine their public personas, William and Catherine remain unwavering in their commitment to duty and tradition. Together, they symbolize the future of the monarchy, with William's steadfast dedication often likened to the resolve demonstrated by the late Queen. While Catherine's effortless poise has become the benchmark for modern royal grace, Harry and Meghan find themselves immersed in a very different realm, one of red carpets and Hollywood dazzle. Meanwhile, William and Catherine's every action quietly reinforces their unwavering dedication to tradition, striking a chord with a public yearning for stability and consistency. Within the broader royal narrative, the divide between these 2 paths could not be more pronounced. By stepping away from royal duties, Harry and Meghan have exchanged the Windsor legacy for the allure of celebrity culture, a decision that to some speaks volumes about their true priorities. But this is more than just a tale of contrasts. It's a riveting drama that demands a closer look, rich with opportunities for biting wit and sharp analysis. Let us delve into the public's evolving perception of Harry and Meghan's choices, contrasting it with the qualities that solidify William and Catherine as the monarchy's leading lights. While Harry and Meghan may have envisioned their Hollywood journey as a meteoric ascent, reality has delivered something far less luminous. Their celebrity ambitions, it seems, have struggled to find the dazzling trajectory they might have anticipated. Meanwhile, William and Catherine remain steadfast, their quiet leadership casting a long shadow over their transatlantic counterparts. What once appeared to be a bold and groundbreaking move now seems more like a miscalculated leap into an industry that demands its own brand of dedication and consistency, qualities that ironically Harry and Meghan seem hesitant to embrace. Their public appearances often feel more like carefully orchestrated premieres than the dignified engagements that William and Catherine execute with such effortless poise. This veneer of glamour risks losing its luster, raising questions about whether they have overestimated the enduring appeal of Hollywood's spotlight, particularly as the novelty of their narrative begins to fade. Their choice of projects since leaving the UK has only added to the mix of skepticism and confusion surrounding their post-royal strategy. On one hand, they've embraced the glittering world of celebrity, crafting a brand image rooted in tell-all documentaries and best-selling memoirs. Yet, with each new endeavor, it feels as though they are trapped in a repetitive cycle, seeking relevance by revisiting familiar themes of liberation and truth-telling. While these efforts have undoubtedly garnered attention, one can't help but wonder how sustainable this approach will be in the long term. But where is the originality? The so-called revelations from Harry and Meghan often feel more like recycled anecdotes than truly groundbreaking insights. It's as if they're unwilling to confront the reality that their experiences, while perhaps unique to them, lack the substance or intrigue they seem to ascribe to them. The result is a narrative that, while occasionally entertaining, is increasingly met with public fatigue over their prolonged grievances. In sharp contrast, Catherine's enduring popularity highlights her ability to navigate the intricacies of royal life with both grace and authenticity. Her initiatives, spanning mental health, early childhood development, and environmental sustainability, demonstrate a profound understanding of the issues that resonate most with modern audiences. By focusing on meaningful, impactful work, Catherine not only sets herself apart from Camilla, but also redefines the role of a royal in the 21st century. Meanwhile, William and Catherine's approach to public life underscores a critical distinction: the difference between fleeting star power and the enduring respect that comes from genuine dedication to duty. Their efforts, rooted in purpose rather than performance, continue to solidify their position as the future of the monarchy. William and Catherine's actions are deliberate, yet exude an effortless quality, embodying a quiet charisma that doesn't seek the spotlight but naturally commands it. Catherine, in particular, has perfected the art of understated elegance, a trait that not only earns admiration but fosters a profound sense of trust. Their public engagements are not theatrical displays. They are sincere expressions of service and commitment to their roles. In sharp contrast, Harry and Meghan's approach often seems driven by a need for attention, relying heavily on sensationalism to remain in the public eye. This stark difference extends to their parenting philosophies, which have significant implications for their children's futures. William and Catherine have consistently demonstrated a commendable foresight in shielding their children from the relentless glare of public scrutiny. By maintaining a sense of normalcy in their upbringing, they offer Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis the chance to experience a childhood that their parents were largely denied. Conversely, Harry and Meghan's choices often result in curated and at times intrusive glimpses into their family life, a marked contrast that raises questions about the long-term impact of such exposure on their children. The Sussexes' choices often carry an undertone of self-promotion, raising questions about whether their priority lies in protecting their children or leveraging their narrative for attention. This duality invites scrutiny. Is it freedom they seek for their family, or the fame they once claimed to escape? The irony is hard to ignore, as their actions appear at odds with their professed desire for privacy. In contrast, William and Catherine's unwavering commitment to tradition, once dismissed as outdated, has emerged as a source of stability in an era of rapid change. While some have chosen to redefine their roles or craft new identities, the Prince and Princess of Wales have embraced a balanced approach, demonstrating that respect for tradition and modernity can coexist seamlessly. Their thoughtful adaptation to contemporary challenges without abandoning the responsibilities of their royal duties sets them apart in a world where renunciation is often celebrated and steadfastness is increasingly rare. Then there is the matter of legacy. William and Catherine's enduring dedication to their roles reflects a long-term vision that extends beyond fleeting trends or personal gain. Their approach ensures that the values and traditions of the monarchy remain relevant and respected, offering a steady anchor in uncertain times. Despite their public declarations about driving meaningful change, Harry and Meghan's tangible contributions often feel vague and insubstantial. While they vocalize support for mental health, equality, and philanthropy, the specifics are frequently overshadowed by sensational soundbites. Their charitable efforts, though occasionally impactful, lack the sustained commitment that defines William and Catherine's work. Catherine's dedication to mental health initiatives is not a fleeting exercise in public relations. It reflects years of unwavering effort, with her championing one cause after another with genuine passion. Similarly, William's environmental efforts are marked by substance and collaboration, involving partnerships with scientists and world leaders rather than relying on sporadic statements or high-profile appearances. In comparison, the Sussexes' advocacy often comes across as transactional, as if each cause serves more as a stepping stone to further fame or recognition than as a genuine, selfless endeavor. This approach presents a curious contradiction to the ideals they once professed to uphold. In a world overflowing with noble causes, their actions seem to prioritize visibility over lasting impact, a stark contrast to the steady, purpose-driven efforts of William and Catherine. Harry and Meghan's efforts often appear scattered, lacking the coherence and heartfelt passion that true advocacy requires. In stark contrast, William and Catherine's approach is a breath of fresh air, characterized by a steady consistency that reflects genuine dedication rather than fleeting interest. The media strategies employed by the two couples highlight yet another divide. Harry and Meghan have leaned heavily into an us versus them narrative, a tactic that has ironically undermined the privacy they claim to value. With every interview and public statement, they inadvertently invite deeper scrutiny into their lives. The public's fascination with the Sussexes stems not just from curiosity, but from a growing sense of bewilderment at the stark disconnect between their rhetoric and their actions. Each revelation feels meticulously crafted, not as an honest disclosure, but as a rehearsed performance aimed at shaping public opinion. By contrast, William and Catherine's measured and restrained relationship with the media reveals a level of maturity that Harry and Meghan seem either unwilling or unable to replicate. This quiet dignity not only enhances their public image, but also reinforces the trust and respect they've earned as steady figures within the royal family. This divergence underscores a fundamental difference in values. William and Catherine's steadfast commitment to duty, family, and unity may lack the glitz of Hollywood, but it carries a resilience and longevity that Harry and Meghan's more dramatic approach simply cannot match. In the ever-evolving narrative of the British royal family, there's no shortage of intrigue, yet the saga of Harry and Meghan stands apart. Here are two individuals who once had everything, a privileged position within one of the world's most revered institutions, only to squander it in one of the most public and controversial ways imaginable. Let's be honest, Harry and Meghan didn't just step back from royal duties. They plunged headfirst into a media circus, seizing headlines at every opportunity while clinging to their proclaimed independence as though it were their saving grace. Ironically, this pursuit has only revealed them as opportunists, a duo, a relentless quest for attention, leveraging the royal connection they so eagerly renounce at every turn. As the monarchy readies itself for an inevitable transition of power, William and Catherine's grounded and enduring approach seems all the more vital, serving as a stark contrast to the Sussexes' chaotic and often contradictory choices. The question of Camilla's future role remains shrouded in uncertainty. Her reluctance to openly discuss matters of succession hints at a deeper discomfort regarding her position within the royal hierarchy. In stark contrast, William and Catherine have approached their future roles with clear confidence and careful preparation, positioning themselves to oversee a seamless transition that will reshape the monarchy for generations to come. As for Harry, despite all his proclamations of severing ties with the royal family, he has made it abundantly clear that he cannot survive without it. Who could forget that bombshell interview with Oprah Winfrey, where he lamented being financially cut off by his father, King Charles? Honestly, Harry crying over how his only fallback was the inheritance from his wealthy mother. It's almost comical. Countless individuals around the world have been cut off from family support and still manage to carry on without resorting to the media every other week to air their grievances. It's difficult not to wonder whether Harry's dependence on his royal connections is more about self-preservation than any real desire for independence. Harry's constant quest for sympathy is nothing short of a display of entitlement. And frankly, it's painful to watch. He speaks of being cut off from royal funding as though it's some kind of monumental sacrifice, yet fails to acknowledge that he still has millions in the bank thanks to his late mother, Diana. The self-pity and melodrama have become almost unbearable. And then there's Meghan, someone who clearly couldn't handle the realities of royal life, but was more than happy to enjoy the perks that came with it in their pursuit of fame. Together, they've done everything in their power to undermine the royal family, even going so far as to air their grievances on global platforms like Oprah. Meghan has been vocal about her alleged mistreatment by the royal family and the supposed media bias she faced, yet conveniently overlooks the fact that no one forced her into the royal fold. She made a conscious decision to marry into that life, and now, when it suits her, she plays the victim. It's a contradiction that grows more evident with every public statement. If Meghan truly sought privacy, she wouldn't have signed up for every exclusive interview and Netflix deal that came her way. She is, quite frankly, a walking contradiction, constantly lamenting her lack of privacy while eagerly cashing in on every opportunity to expose her life to the highest bidder. Now, let's talk about Meghan's royal legacy, if you can call it that. She may have received a token sum from the Queen's estate, but let's be honest, her royal inheritance is as insignificant as a single-dollar bill in a billionaire's wallet. The fact that she wasn't even considered for any of the Queen's valuable jewels speaks volumes about how little she is valued by the family. It almost seems as though the royal family made a deliberate decision to distance themselves from her. And who can blame them? Meghan and Harry have done nothing but tarnish the monarchy with their unrelenting quest for drama and victimhood. They left the UK to escape royal duties, but didn't hesitate to cash in on their royal connections by securing multi-million-dollar deals with Spotify and Netflix. It's a glaring contradiction that exposes their true motivations. It's clear where the true priorities lie: money and fame. While Harry and Meghan chase fortune in Hollywood, William and Catherine continue to serve with unwavering grace, dignity, and responsibility, qualities that Harry and Meghan can only aspire to. While the Sussexes seem focused on building their personal brand, William and Catherine are quietly preparing to guide the monarchy into the future, exuding the poise and maturity that Harry and Meghan have yet to achieve. Catherine, in particular, has carried out her royal duties with such elegance that it's almost painful to reflect on how far Harry and Meghan have strayed from their original path. From the very beginning, William and Catherine's dedication to their roles has been apparent, while Harry and Meghan appear adrift, struggling to find purpose. For William and Catherine, it's never been about chasing headlines or seizing every media opportunity to validate their worth. Instead, they quietly go about their work, and it's their actions that speak volumes. While Harry and Meghan play the roles of victims and outsiders, William and Catherine stand firmly as the future of the monarchy, quietly proving they are more than prepared to take on the mantle with all the grace and dignity the position requires. It's almost poetic that while Harry and Meghan market their truths to the highest bidder, they've only succeeded in alienating themselves from the very family that granted them their titles. There's nothing dignified about their actions, no elegance, no true understanding of the responsibilities they once held. Though they may have left the UK, they've certainly not left behind their insatiable desire for attention. Each scandal and media appearance serves merely as another chapter in their ongoing attempt to stay relevant, no matter how much they tarnish their family's reputation in the process. Meanwhile, the royal family, and particularly William and Catherine, remain largely unaffected by their antics, continuing to uphold the values of duty and service that the Sussexes seem to have discarded in favor of self-promotion. William and Catherine have built a legacy of their own, one that Harry and Meghan can only dream of. They've remained steadfast in their purpose, embodying a level of grace that speaks volumes. Unlike the Sussexes, they haven't had to compromise their values for a paycheck or make their personal lives a public spectacle. Through their quiet, yet powerful actions, they've become the epitome of what the monarchy needs in the 21st century. The saga of Harry, Meghan, and Andrew serves as a cautionary tale of self-destruction and missed opportunities. Harry and Meghan have taken the royal heritage they were gifted and turned it into a circus, relentlessly seeking attention, playing the victim and chasing the next headline. Every move they make seems carefully calculated to keep them in the media spotlight, even at the expense of the very institution they once belonged to. At the heart of this ongoing drama is the delicate balance between tradition and modernity, a theme that continues to evolve as the monarchy looks to its future. Camilla's commitment to a traditional approach appears increasingly misaligned with the evolving times. In contrast, Catherine's progressive vision highlights the monarchy's capacity to adapt and flourish in a constantly changing world. This contrast between tradition and innovation underscores the broader challenges the royal family faces in maintaining its relevance in the 21st century. Meanwhile, Andrew's troubled past continues to cast a shadow over any attempts at redemption. Despite the trials he's endured, one might expect him to appreciate the value of introspection and genuine atonement, yet he remains a controversial figure whose legacy is tainted by scandal. On the other hand, William and Catherine emerge as the monarchy's true pillars, embodying leadership with quiet grace. They have fully embraced their responsibilities, demonstrating what modern leadership truly entails. In stark contrast to Harry and Meghan, who have distanced themselves from tradition and duty, William and Catherine remain steadfast in their commitment to a legacy rooted in service, respect, and humility. The future of the monarchy is in safe hands, with William and Catherine poised to lead with dignity and setting a standard of excellence that Harry and Meghan can only aspire to, as the Sussexes chase fleeting fame and fortune. William and Catherine exemplify leadership, demonstrating that the royal family is not defined solely by wealth and titles, but by a profound sense of responsibility and integrity. As we witness the unfolding drama, it becomes evident who truly represents the future of the British royal family. It is not Harry and Meghan, whose royal connections have been severed in their pursuit of celebrity status, but William and Catherine, who will one day ascend the throne with the grace and dignity essential for the monarchy. The royal family stands at the brink of significant change. Yet, despite the focus on the youthful faces of the monarchy, one name remains central in the conversation. Queen Camilla occupies a role of both privilege and intense public scrutiny as the wife of King Charles III. Her marriage to Charles, once viewed as an improbable and contentious union, has nonetheless firmly established her within the royal family. However, as the monarchy anticipates the inevitable changes that will follow the passing of the current king, speculation about Camilla's future role is becoming increasingly prevalent. Will she retain her title as queen, or will she gradually fade into the background, remembered only as a brief chapter in royal history? Might she assume the title of Queen Dowager, traditionally reserved for the widow of a monarch? Undoubtedly, the period following King Charles's reign will be a defining moment for Camilla, determining whether she maintains a prominent place in the royal narrative or is overshadowed by the rising prominence of the younger generation of royals. The future of Queen Camilla remains enveloped in uncertainty, with the decisions made by the royal family following King Charles's passing expected to play a crucial role in shaping her post-reign life. Over the years, Camilla's position within the monarchy has undergone a profound transformation. shifting from a figure of public criticism to a respected queen consort. Despite successfully establishing her presence in the public sphere, questions surrounding her future persist. The royal family, known for their skill in managing intricate relationships and public sentiment, will undoubtedly face a delicate challenge, balancing the respect owed to Camilla's contributions with the necessity of ensuring a seamless transition to the next generation of royals. A plausible outcome is that Camilla will retain the title of queen. However, it is essential to clarify that this does not imply she would become a monarch in her own right, as her position derives from her role as the spouse of the reigning king, Camilla's future title, and role within the monarchy after King Charles III's reign remains subjects of considerable speculation. Currently holding the title of queen consort, her status is intrinsically tied to her marriage to the reigning monarch. Once Charles is no longer on the throne, whether due to abdication or passing, the question arises: what role will Camilla play in the royal landscape? Some royal experts suggest she may continue to be referred to as Queen Camilla, even in widowhood. This approach would maintain her dignity and the respect she has earned over the years, while subtly acknowledging that her position was always secondary to that of the reigning sovereign. However, this path might also serve as a reminder that her role as queen was derivative, never truly her own. An alternative and arguably more traditional title for Camilla would be Queen Dowager. Historically, this title has been given to the widows of kings, signifying both respect and a clear distinction from the new monarch and their consort. The title of Queen Dowager carries a sense of reverence and permanence, but it also implies a step back from active royal duties and public life. Ultimately, whether Camilla becomes known as Queen Camilla or Queen Dowager, her legacy will likely be shaped by her ability to navigate this transition with grace and by the continued support of the royal family in maintaining her respected position within the institution. The role of Queen Dowager traditionally comes with an expectation of stepping back from public life, assuming a more ceremonial and reflective presence within the monarchy. Historically, such figures have served as symbols of continuity and nostalgia, reminders of a previous era rather than active participants in shaping the future. For Queen Camilla, however, such a subdued role seems at odds with the trajectory of her life and the effort she has invested in securing both her place in the royal family and the respect of the British public. Camilla has worked tirelessly to reshape her public image and redefine her role within the monarchy, overcoming decades of scrutiny and criticism. It's unlikely she would quietly fade into the background, given how central her royal identity has become to her public persona. Her dedication to charitable work, patronages, and her presence as a stabilizing force beside King Charles III and she all point to a figure who values influence and visibility. The dynamic between Camilla and the future monarch, Prince William, will be instrumental in determining her post-Charles role. William, alongside his wife Catherine, Princess of Wales, represents the future of the monarchy, modern, streamlined, and deeply attuned to public sentiment. While their relationship with Camilla appears cordial and professional, the extent to which William chooses to include her in his reign remains to be seen. William will hold the authority to shape Camilla's position, whether she remains an active figure in royal engagements or transitions into a more private role. His decisions will likely be influenced by a careful balancing act, honoring her years of service and dedication while ensuring that the spotlight remains firmly on the new generation of royals. In any scenario, Camilla's legacy is already firmly cemented. Whether as Queen Camilla or Queen Dowager, she will likely continue to wield a measure of influence, even if her role becomes less public-facing. Her adaptability and resilience over the years suggest she will find a way to remain relevant, even in a monarchy that is perpetually looking forward. Once Prince William ascends to the throne, the dynamic within the royal family will undoubtedly shift, and Queen Camilla's place in this new era remains a subject of speculation. Will she be embraced as a respected matriarch, a figure of wisdom and experience? Or will she become a distant reminder of a chapter the younger royals and the monarchy itself are eager to leave behind? While Camilla has worked diligently to redefine her image and earn her place within the royal fold, her contributions may gradually fade into the background as the public turns its attention to William and Catherine. Catherine, Princess of Wales, has already cemented her legacy as a beloved royal figure. Her poise, warmth, and ability to connect with people on a deeply personal level have positioned her as a symbol of hope, progress, and unwavering dedication. As the monarchy evolves under William's leadership, Catherine's role is expected to grow even more central, further solidifying her status as the face of a modernized royal family. However, Camilla's personal life adds another layer of complexity to this transition. Her two children from her previous marriage, Tom Parker Bowles and Laura Lopez, have largely remained out of the royal spotlight, maintaining private lives despite their mother's high-profile status. Yet in a post-Charles era, their connection to the former queen consort could invite renewed public interest and scrutiny. Questions may arise about their role, if any, within the royal framework, and whether Camilla will spend her later years prioritizing her family over public duties. Historically, the royal family has been adept at keeping personal matters out of the public eye, but the fascination surrounding Camilla's past and her children's place in her life may challenge this discretion. It's possible that Camilla will focus her energy on her family and her passions, stepping away from the relentless public gaze. Alternatively, she may continue to serve the monarchy in a ceremonial capacity, ensuring her years of dedication are not forgotten. In the end, much will depend on the tone set by King William and Queen Catherine. If they choose to honor Camilla's legacy and include her in meaningful ways, she could retain a position of quiet dignity within the royal family. However, if the focus shifts decisively to the younger generation, Camilla's influence may naturally recede, leaving her to carve out a more private yet still significant role in the story of the British monarchy. Should Queen Camilla decide to step away from public life after King Charles III's reign comes to an end, it's likely she will find solace and fulfillment in her family. Spending more time with her children, Tom Parker Bowles and Laura Lopez, as well as her grandchildren, may offer her a sense of peace and purpose away from the relentless scrutiny of royal duties, despite the uncertainty surrounding her future. Camilla's legacy will undoubtedly be shaped by the charitable causes she has championed throughout her time in the public eye. Her dedication to issues such as literacy, osteoporosis awareness, and supporting survivors of domestic violence has earned her a measure of respect, particularly among those who value her commitment to meaningful social change. Even without formal platform of the monarchy behind her, it seems likely that Camilla will continue to lend her voice and energy to these causes. Many of the charities she has supported over the years have flourished under her patronage, and her continued involvement could ensure that her contributions remain impactful. However, it's uncertain whether she will wield the same level of influence without the authority and visibility that come with being the queen consort. At the same time, the younger generation of royals, particularly William and Catherine, are poised to step into even more prominent positions within the world of philanthropy. Their immense popularity and ability to connect with the public on a global scale will undoubtedly draw significant attention and resources to the causes they champion. Camilla's future influence, therefore, may not rest in the scale of her public engagements, but rather in the depth of her personal commitment to the causes she holds dear. Whether as a visible public figure or a quieter force behind the scenes, her legacy will likely endure through the lives she has touched and the organizations she has supported. In a monarchy that continues to evolve, Camilla's story will serve as a reminder of resilience, dedication, and the ability to overcome public doubt to make a meaningful difference. Queen Camilla's post-reign life is likely to be one of reduced public visibility, with her role shifting into the background as the monarchy's focus turns to the next generation. While this path is not without precedent, Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother, played a vital role in supporting her daughter, Queen Elizabeth II, after King George II's death. Camilla's situation is fundamentally different. Unlike the Queen Mother, Camilla is not the parent of the future monarch. She does not carry the same historical weight, nor does she share the same direct maternal connection to the throne. As a result, her role will not come with the same natural authority or clarity of purpose that Queen Elizabeth enjoyed in her widowhood. Camilla's future, therefore, may be shaped less by tradition and more by circumstance. Much will depend on the decisions made by King William and how he chooses to define her role within the royal family. Will she be afforded a position of honor and respect, or will she quietly fade into the background? One thing remains clear. Queen Camilla's legacy will depend on how she navigates this period of transition. Her time as queen consort has been marked by dedication to charitable causes, efforts to modernize the image of the monarchy, and her ability to overcome public skepticism. Yet, without King Charles III by her side, she will face the challenge of adapting to a reality where her influence may be significantly diminished. Whether she chooses to maintain a public presence through her charitable work or retreat into a more private life centered around her family, Camilla's actions during this phase will define how she is remembered. Her years of dedication and resilience suggest that she will approach this chapter with the same determination that carried her through the challenges of her earlier royal life. In the end, her legacy may not be measured by her title, but by the impact she leaves behind in the causes she championed and the lives she touched. The future of Queen Camilla, once King Charles III is no longer on the throne, is set to be a complex and at times uncomfortable chapter in the ongoing story of the British monarchy. Her legacy will be shaped by several key factors: the royal family's relationship with her, her continued involvement in charitable work, and her ability to maintain a positive connection with the younger generation of royals, particularly King William and Queen Catherine. Camilla's journey has been anything but straightforward. Her time in the public eye has been shadowed by the legacy of Princess Diana, whose memory continues to loom large over the monarchy. Despite successfully carving out a space for herself as queen consort, Camilla's role has always carried an air of unease, shaped by decades of public scrutiny and controversy. When Prince William ascends to the throne, the power dynamics within the royal family will shift decisively. Camilla, no longer the wife of the reigning monarch, will face an inevitable reduction in prominence. No title, whether Queen Dowager or Queen Camilla, nor any amount of goodwill from her charitable work will fully insulate her from the realities of this transition. Camilla's post-reign role is likely to be one of quiet adaptation, and how she chooses to navigate this period will ultimately define her legacy. Will she step gracefully into the background, focusing on her family and charitable causes? Or will she attempt to maintain a degree of influence and visibility even as the public's attention shifts firmly to William and Catherine? One of the greatest challenges she will face is public perception. Camilla has spent years overcoming deep-seated skepticism, and while she has earned a level of respect, the shadow of her past will likely remain a defining aspect of her story. Her relationship with William and Catherine will be particularly significant. If mutual respect and understanding prevail, it could allow Camilla to retain a sense of dignity and purpose in her post-queen consort years. Ultimately, Camilla's future will be shaped by her ability to gracefully navigate the inevitable changes ahead. The monarchy is an institution built on tradition, but it is also deeply responsive to public sentiment. Camilla's actions in this new chapter, whether she retreats from the spotlight or seeks to remain a visible figure, will determine whether her legacy is one of quiet dignity or lingering awkwardness in the ever-evolving narrative of the British royal family. Camilla's time in the royal spotlight has indeed been a delicate balancing act, shaped by years of public scrutiny, controversy, and shifting perceptions. Once King Charles III is no longer the reigning monarch, her influence is likely to diminish swiftly, much like a balloon losing air. Historically, the widow of a monarch typically takes on a more secondary role, and Camilla's situation will be no different. However, what sets her apart from other royal widows is the weight of her past. Camilla's legacy is inextricably tied to the breakdown of one of the most high-profile marriages in royal history, and her role in that saga has cast a long shadow over her tenure as queen consort. Despite the years of charity work and efforts to carve out a respectable position, there will likely be no public adoration or forgiving smiles to cushion the inevitable shift in her role. While her title, whether Queen Consort or Queen Dowager, may remain, her relevance in the public eye is expected to wane significantly. The media, which has spent decades focusing on her controversial past, will likely shift its attention elsewhere, particularly as the younger generation, led by Prince William, steps into the spotlight. As Prince William ascends to the throne, he is poised to receive the kind of attention, respect, and affection that Charles never fully commanded. His reign marks the beginning of a new era, one that is more attuned to the modern royal family's changing image and values. William's appeal, bolstered by his youthful energy, popularity, and the public's growing affection for him, and Catherine will likely eclipse any lingering interest in Camilla. In this new landscape, Camilla will likely face a much smaller role in the monarchy, with her position and influence shaped more by the legacy of her marriage to Charles than by her own actions or contributions. Whether she steps into the background gracefully, focusing on her family and charitable endeavors, or struggles to maintain relevance, the reality is clear. The future of the monarchy will be focused squarely on the younger generation, and Camilla's role, while still respected, will no longer be at the forefront. Prince William is set to be the face of a new, more modern monarchy, one that the UK and the world have long been awaiting. His reign, alongside the support of his wife Catherine, will signal a clear break from the past, bringing a fresh and more relatable dynamic to the royal family. Catherine, as queen consort, will likely embody the grace, warmth, and understanding that characterize the monarchy's evolving role in the 21st century. Her ability to connect with people on a personal level, combined with her poise and commitment to modern royal duties, will endear her to a broader public, making her a central figure in the monarchy's future. In stark contrast to Camilla, whose presence has often been perceived as cold or awkward, Catherine's image will resonate far more widely. The public will likely embrace her as the true face of the royal family going forward. While Camilla may retain the title of Queen Consort or even adopt the title of Queen Dowager after Charles's death, the reality is that her power and influence will be significantly diminished. Camilla's legacy, while respected in certain circles for her charitable work and years of service to the monarchy, will likely pale in comparison to Catherine's growing influence and popularity. As the monarchy shifts its focus to the younger generation, Camilla's role will inevitably become more marginal. Her presence may feel like a lingering vestige of the royal past, relevant in title, but increasingly irrelevant in terms of public engagement. The public, especially the younger generations, will likely have little tolerance for an aging royal figure whose influence has waned. In this new era, the future of the monarchy will be defined by William and Catherine, and no matter what title Camilla assumes, she will no longer be at the heart of the royal story. Instead, her role will be relegated to that of a figure in the background, overshadowed by the fresh energy and modern sensibility that the new king and queen consort bring to the throne. As the monarchy enters a new era, all eyes will be on William and Catherine, the couple poised to represent everything the monarchy needs to thrive in the modern age. Youth, relatability, and an unwavering commitment to royal duty. They will embody the values that resonate with today's public, ensuring the survival and relevance of the royal family in a rapidly changing world. In stark contrast, Camilla's role will likely become increasingly secondary, with her position as queen consort becoming more symbolic than impactful. Let's be clear, there is no love lost for Camilla. While she may be treated with a certain degree of politeness at official events, true public affection for her has always been, and likely will always remain, a distant stretch. She has never enjoyed the same level of adoration that Princess Diana did, nor will she likely ever. Her place in royal history is irrevocably tainted by scandal, particularly the protracted battle for legitimacy that surrounded her relationship with Charles. The dynamics of power, popularity, and public perception within the British royal family have long been a spectacle that captures widespread attention, and the contrast between Charles and Camilla's reign and the future monarchy under William and Catherine could not be more glaring. As Charles and Camilla navigate the twilight of his reign, the looming shift in power becomes more apparent with each passing day. Their successors, William and Catherine, represent a modern, forward-looking monarchy that aligns more closely with public expectations, while Charles and Camilla seem increasingly out of step with the times. In truth, Camilla's hold on her role as queen consort feels as fragile as her public approval ratings, a remarkable feat considering the extensive effort that has gone into managing and maintaining her image. The public's tolerance for her has always been limited, and as the spotlight shifts to William and Catherine, it's unlikely that Camilla will hold the same relevance or influence. Instead, her role will likely be reduced to a quiet, diminished presence, fading into the background as a younger generation of royals takes center stage. For someone who spent decades waiting for her turn at the top, Camilla's insistence on remaining in the spotlight after Charles's death will likely be seen as more of a desperate clinging to relevance than an act of devotion to the monarchy. There's no denying that the press, despite offering the occasional sympathetic nod, continues to remind the public of her role in the breakdown of Princess Diana's marriage and the ensuing public misery. While Camilla may have been accepted into the royal fold and even earned a degree of respect over the years, it's clear that she is far from a beloved figure. Once Charles passes, Camilla will likely find herself with little to contribute beyond the occasional charity appearance or royal function, but even those engagements will be ceremonial rather than substantive. With William and Catherine taking on the real responsibilities of the monarchy, Camilla's role will likely shrink into something symbolic. The younger royals will step up to lead the institution in a new direction, one that will be more attuned to modern expectations and values. Will Camilla fight to stay relevant? Absolutely! She has never been the type to fade quietly into the background. But there's a fundamental difference between striving to stay involved and actually having a meaningful role. Without Charles by her side, her influence within the royal family will inevitably diminish, and her position will become less and less significant. Camilla's struggle to maintain her place will likely play out in the shadows of a more dynamic and forward-facing monarchy led by William and Catherine. In the end, she will be left with the difficult task of finding a new identity in a royal family that no longer needs her to occupy the spotlight. As Camilla ages, her influence in royal affairs will likely dwindle to near nothingness, with the monarchy's future becoming increasingly focused on the younger generation, William and Catherine. Catherine, with her impeccable public image and unwavering dedication to charity, will undoubtedly take on a more prominent role in the public eye. Once she becomes queen consort, she will represent the royal family in addressing the most pressing issues of the day, further solidifying her place in the hearts of the British public and the world at large. Catherine has proven time and again that she possesses the qualities necessary to be an effective and beloved figure, a steady hand, a loving mother, and a compassionate advocate for important causes. These qualities will only enhance her standing as queen consort as the public embraces her as the fresh, relatable face of the monarchy. The British public, and indeed the wider world, will be more than happy to turn their gaze toward the vibrant and modern royal couple, leaving Camilla as little more than a shadow in the background. As for William, he is poised to be the type of monarch that Charles could never quite become. Where Charles was often perceived as aloof and somewhat out of touch, William is likely to emerge as a more accessible and relatable figure. His leadership will be defined by a strong connection to the people, and his reign will be marked by a deeper sense of relevance in the modern world. Ultimately, as Camilla fades from the spotlight, the monarchy's focus will be on William and Catherine, the young, dynamic couple leading the future of the royal family. Camilla may retain her title, but her place in the narrative will likely become more ceremonial, with the real work of the monarchy firmly in the hands of the next generation. William has always managed to maintain a sense of relatability, skillfully balancing his royal duties with his role as a father and husband. His reign promises to move the monarchy forward, carefully navigating the complexities of the modern world while still respecting the traditions that have made the royal family so iconic. Most importantly, William's ascension marks a sharp departure from the era of Charles and Camilla. His reign will represent a new chapter for the monarchy, one where relevance is defined by how connected you are to the people, not by the scandals you've endured. In this new royal landscape, Camilla will find her role significantly diminished. While her title may remain, perhaps even as Queen Dowager, she will likely find herself pushed to the fringes. Her influence, will be as negligible as that of a distant relative at a family reunion, a figure who once held a prominent place but now plays a very minor role. The focus will shift entirely to the new royal couple, William and Catherine, who will be the ones driving the narrative of the monarchy going forward. Their modern sensibilities combined with their genuine connection to the public will define the future of the royal family. In contrast, Camilla's legacy, bound by the shadows of past scandals and controversies, will fade into the background as the younger generation of royals take center stage. The monarchy's future will no longer be shaped by her influence, but by the dynamic, forward-facing leadership of William and Catherine. When it comes to Camilla, she will likely be reduced to a minor role within the broader workings of the royal family, serving as a vestige of a bygone era that no longer holds much relevance. The monarchy will continue to evolve, as it always does, and Camilla's presence will gradually diminish into the background. It is difficult to foresee a time when her influence will rival the significant roles that Catherine and William will inevitably play. Catherine's natural grace, poise, and exceptional ability to engage with the public will position her as the true representative of the monarchy. In contrast, Camilla may ultimately be remembered as little more than a fleeting figure, someone who fulfilled her role but whose legacy will remain overshadowed by the dominant personalities of the younger generation. Although this may be a difficult reality for Camilla to accept, it reflects the monarchy's forward-looking nature, where the future holds far more promise than the past. The future of Camilla, particularly once King Charles III is no longer present, is certain to attract attention. Despite her controversial past and her role as queen consort for several years, it is not guaranteed that Camilla will continue to wield any significant influence within the royal family. A glance at history shows that the wives of kings, regardless of their status, have never held the same level of power as their husbands. Camilla is unlikely to be an exception and may even become an example of how someone can assume a royal position without ever truly fitting into the role. Throughout her time in the royal spotlight, Camilla has faced challenges in establishing her place. After the passing of Charles, her life may enter a new phase, one in which she is regarded as little more than a relic of a bygone royal era. While she may still hold the title of queen, the truth is that her relevance will fade. It's difficult to envision how anyone could truly admire or respect someone whose royal journey has been marred by controversy, betrayal, and questionable choices. Camilla may remain within the royal circles, but her presence will no longer command the attention it once did. Though she may retain the title, it feels largely symbolic. Her influence will diminish significantly. Any discussion of Camilla's royal ascent inevitably brings Diana into the conversation. Diana, the beloved and tragic figure whose highly publicized marriage to Charles collapsed, ultimately paved the way for Camilla's rise to prominence. The world watched as Camilla became entwined in a royal scandal, and despite her efforts to improve her public image, it's hard to overlook the lasting impact of that history. Particularly when Charles is no longer king, the end of this chapter won't be marked by triumph for Camilla. Instead, she'll quietly step into the background as the royal family embraces a future untethered from the complicated legacy she represents. While some members of the royal circle might occasionally nod in her direction out of politeness, it's far from heartfelt admiration. She may still appear at royal events, but her role will feel as distant and inconsequential as that of a seldom seen relative at a reunion. The spotlight and affection will firmly rest on William and Catherine, the couple poised to shape the monarchy's future. As King Charles navigates the pressures of his position alongside his growing health challenges, insiders suggest Camilla is clinging tightly to her ceremonial responsibilities. Yet her strained relationship with Catherine, the Princess of Wales, remains a sensitive issue. With the inevitable transition to a younger, more cherished generation of royals drawing nearer, these family tensions cast a long shadow over her role. Questions about the queen consort's future relevance are becoming harder to ignore, fueling both curiosity and quiet amusement among her critics. Camilla has always been a divisive figure, to say the least. Her ambition, while evident, has often lacked the finesse needed to win over public affection. Watching her attempt to stay relevant feels like watching someone cling to a slippery edge. It's captivating, but you can't help but wonder how long it will last. Though some may view her refusal to step back from her duties as a sign of dedication, it comes across as insecurity when compared to Catherine's seamless rise to prominence. Camilla might continue to involve herself in charity work and royal appearances, but those efforts are unlikely to preserve her influence. Meanwhile, Catherine's poise, elegance, and authentic bond with the public will naturally place her at the heart of the royal spotlight. Catherine will emerge as the true face of the monarchy, something Camilla could never achieve. The royal narrative will no longer center on Charles and Camilla, but on William and Catherine, the embodiment of the monarchy's future. Camilla will be left behind, a mere footnote in royal history. The harsh reality is that her influence has always been tied to Charles. When his time ends, so will her role. The media, always quick to highlight her controversial past, won't afford her the leniency she once received. While she may retain a title, her relevance will inevitably fade. In contrast, Catherine has already established herself as the monarchy's future. With her elegance, charm, and ability to genuinely connect with people, she represents everything. Camilla could not. As William takes the throne, it will be him and Catherine who define the royal family's next chapter, not Camilla. To be fair, Camilla's ability to maintain any influence after Charles's passing will likely depend on her relationship with the royal family, particularly William and Catherine. However, let's be honest, any respect she receives from the younger generation will be polite at best, much like a formal smile at a social gathering. She may try to stay relevant by continuing her charity work or taking on minor royal duties, but it won't be enough to make her a central figure. Camilla will remain on the sidelines, a lingering reminder of an era the royal family will want to move on from. In contrast, William and Catherine will cement their roles as the heart of the monarchy. Catherine's every public appearance will draw admiration, while William will step into his role as a true leader for the nation. Together, they will represent the future of the British royal family. Camilla's legacy will always be marked by scandal, compromise, and ambition, while the younger royals who have worked hard to earn respect and relevance will take center stage. Camilla's time as queen consort is limited. After Charles, she will hold a title but no real influence. The world will move forward, and the royal family will focus on building a legacy of strength, unity, and respect. Qualities her tenure could never truly provide. As history progresses, the spotlight will firmly rest on William and Catherine. Camilla's relevance will continue to fade, and her role will shrink into the background. This is a glimpse of what lies ahead for Queen Camilla and the royal family after King Charles's reign. While Camilla's future may hold some uncertainties, one thing is certain. The focus will shift entirely to the younger generation. As William and Catherine prepare to take the reins of the royal family, drama and controversy seem ever present, with Camilla and her son Tom Parker Bowles never straying far from the headlines. In a recent and startlingly miscalculated interview, Tom praised his mother while inadvertently stoking the flames of existing tensions within the monarchy. Reports suggest Prince William was caught off guard by these revelations, adding yet another layer to the royal family's fragile dynamics. Tom Parker Bowles, who has long benefited from his closeness to the crown, gave an interview that came across as almost satirical. Describing Camilla as a good basic cook might sound harmless, but the phrase carries an air of faint praise, subtly highlighting her modest contributions. Roast chicken, scrambled eggs, and salads hardly evoke an image of royal culinary mastery. It's possible that Tom's remarks weren't about her cooking at all, but rather a subtle nod to her humble, non-regal roots. While the cooking anecdotes may seem trivial, they add another layer to the ongoing narrative, keeping Camilla's inner circle at the center of the royal family's challenges. The leaks linked to Tom Parker Bowles have stirred significant unrest among royal insiders. Reports suggest that Tom has been sharing private details about Camilla's ambitions within the monarchy, revealing a picture of someone far more determined than her public image as a supportive consort suggests. These alleged disclosures, reportedly shared in casual conversations with friends, have reached the press, leaving Prince William stunned and questioning the loyalty of those closest to the crown. One of the most explosive claims is that Camilla is quietly aiming to reshape the monarchy in her own image. Behind closed doors, she is said to be participating in discussions about modernizing the royal institution, a move widely interpreted as an effort to secure her influence beyond King Charles's reign. William, who has always harbored concerns about Camilla's role in the family, is reportedly blindsided by these revelations, further straining an already fragile relationship with his stepmother. Catherine embodies everything Camilla is not: graceful, composed, and effortlessly relatable. She has become the gold standard for modern royal behavior. While Camilla often seems strained and at times opportunistic, Catherine exudes authenticity. The public adores her because she doesn't have to fight for their approval. Her connection with them feels natural, built on genuine relatability and substance. Two traits that Camilla has struggled to consistently display. Tom Parker Bowles' recent remarks about his mother's political nature have only fueled speculation. He described Camilla as far more strategic than she's typically perceived, actively engaging in conversations about the monarchy's future direction. While some may see this as a sign of her dedication as consort, others view it as overstepping her bounds. Camilla's apparent inclination to involve herself in royal decision-making has not gone unnoticed, hinting at a level of influence that many royal observers did not previously anticipate. Camilla's political maneuvering raises significant questions about her true intentions. Is she genuinely invested in modernizing the monarchy for the greater good, or is this another calculated effort to cement her legacy? Considering her history of navigating the royal hierarchy with precision, the latter seems plausible. With Tom Parker Bowles acting as her unofficial spokesperson, the optics are far from favorable. The timing of Tom's remarks is especially questionable, coming amidst reports of a potential reconciliation between Prince Harry and Prince William. By adding fuel to an already tense situation, Tom's indiscretions could derail any progress toward repairing the brothers' fractured relationship. For William, who has always been deeply protective of his family's public image, this latest leak is undoubtedly a tough blow. And for Harry, who has been openly critical of Camilla in his memoir Spare, these revelations only seem to confirm his concerns about her influence within the family. If there's one takeaway from this ongoing drama, it's that Camilla's legacy remains as polarizing as ever. While her supporters might claim she's simply fulfilling her duties as consort, her critics see a figure who has repeatedly pushed boundaries. From her controversial ascent to Queen Consort to the recent revelations about her ambitions, Camilla's actions continue to spark questions about her true intentions. Then there's Tom Parker Bowles, whose tendency to overshare has done little to bolster his mother's reputation. Whether he's describing her as a good basic cook or leaking details of her private aspirations, his remarks only widen the gap between Camilla's polished public persona and the reality behind the scenes. For a royal family that values discretion, Tom's behavior is a glaring misstep that undermines efforts to project unity and stability. As the dust begins to settle from Tom's latest comments, one thing is certain: Camilla's role within the monarchy will remain a subject of intense scrutiny. The damage to Camilla's reputation is far from over. For Prince William, who has always been wary of his stepmother's influence, these latest revelations serve as a harsh reminder of the difficulties of navigating a blended royal family. For the monarchy as a whole, the leaks are yet another distraction at a time when unity is more crucial than ever. Camilla's ability to split public opinion has always been a defining feature of her role within the royal family, despite her tireless efforts to rebuild her image since the days of Princess Diana. The doubts surrounding her intentions have never fully faded. Each new controversy seems to reignite those doubts, casting a long shadow over her place within the family. Her ambition, whether deliberate or perceived, has been a point of tension for years. Critics have long accused her of using her influence over Charles to secure her position and maneuver into the spotlight. With Tom's latest revelations, the accusations against Camilla are gaining renewed attention. If her aim was to secure her legacy, it seems to be backfiring in a big way. The claims of her involvement in modernizing the monarchy are particularly damaging. While modernization might sound like a noble cause, it's a loaded term for traditionalists, signaling unnecessary change that could weaken the institution's long-standing traditions. For progressives, it offers a convenient excuse for failed reforms that didn't address deeper issues within the monarchy. Either way, Camilla's involvement in these talks is unlikely to win her many supporters. Then there's her relationship with Charles as king. Charles is expected to lead with dignity and impartiality, but Camilla's influence over him has long been a controversial issue. Critics argue she has used their relationship to push her own agenda, often at the expense of the royal family's unity. With Tom's comments casting further doubt on her motives, these criticisms are likely to intensify. Let's not overlook the ongoing tension between Camilla and Catherine. The reports of their strained relationship come as no surprise. For Camilla, watching Catherine's rise must feel like a painful reminder of Diana's popularity. Catherine's public adoration proves that it's not something you can demand, it's something you earn. Through her impactful initiatives on mental health and early childhood development, Catherine has shown a real commitment to making a difference, something Camilla has struggled to achieve in the public eye. Unlike Camilla's often routine appearances, which come across more as obligations than opportunities to truly connect, Tom's role in this situation cannot be overlooked. As her son, he has a unique perspective on her character and ambitions. But instead of offering a flattering portrayal, his comments have only added fuel to the fire. Tom's remarks have had the opposite effect of what he might have intended, casting Camilla in an unflattering light and highlighting the ongoing tensions within the royal family. Whether deliberate or not, Tom has become a liability for his mother, only intensifying the criticisms that have followed her for years. The consequences for William and Harry are significant. For William, who has always been fiercely protective of his family's reputation, these leaks feel like a betrayal, cutting deep into his relationship with his stepmother. As for Harry, who has never held back in expressing his disdain for Camilla, these revelations only serve to validate his long-standing grievances, adding fuel to a family dynamic already strained by tension. At a time when the monarchy is facing unprecedented challenges, ranging from intense public scrutiny to internal conflicts, Camilla's actions have become a distraction the royal family cannot afford. Whether due to her own ambitions or the indiscretions of her son, she has become a focal point for controversy, drawing attention away from the monarchy's efforts to adapt and thrive in an ever-changing world. Camilla's legacy won't be defined by her titles or public image, but by her influence on the royal family's unity and stability. If Tom's latest remarks are any indication, that influence is far from positive. For a family that values discretion and tradition, the ongoing drama surrounding Camilla and her son serves as a sharp reminder of the difficulties of balancing modernity with the monarchy's storied history. When it comes to the intricacies of royal dynamics, the saga of Camilla and Tom Parker Bowles provides endless intrigue. With every word Tom speaks and every calculated move Camilla makes, the cracks within the monarchy become more apparent. To truly grasp their impact, we must look beyond the headlines to understand the less obvious ways they've affected the royal family's image, operations, and internal trust. While the leaks and interviews may capture attention, the ripple effects of their actions are far more widespread and subtle. Camilla's rise to queen consort is a fascinating story. She started as a controversial figure in Charles's life, but now she holds a powerful position. Some people believe she has just made the most of her situation, while others think she's cleverly worked her way up, creating tensions and doubts along the way. Tom, whether by design or not, has ended up playing a big part in revealing her true role. His comments and poorly timed stories have brought attention to her influence in the royal family. One of the most talked about ideas is that Camilla has been trying to change the monarchy from behind the scenes. While some see this as an effort to modernize, others believe her intentions aren't entirely selfless. Leaks suggest that she's been pushing for a smaller royal family, one that focuses on specific members while leaving others out of the picture. This plan to slim down the monarchy might seem practical at first glance, but it raises some serious questions about hidden motives. A smaller royal family means fewer competing opinions, less dissent, and most importantly, fewer barriers to Camilla's growing influence. Tom's role in shaping this perception is hard to overlook. His comments about his mother's political nature, delivered with an air of casualness, emphasize her ambitious side. By portraying her as a calculated thinker, Tom unintentionally draws attention to the very traits that make her so divisive. Being a supportive royal partner is one thing. Being seen as someone secretly steering the ship is another. For a monarchy, already struggling with issues of relevance and transparency, Camilla's apparent overreach becomes a public relations headache. Add to this the matter of trust within a family that values discretion above all else. Tom's unguarded remarks, whether they involve sensitive details or ill-timed opinions, have turned into a major problem for the royal family. Tom's actions have cast doubt on the loyalty of those closest to the Queen Consort. For Prince William, who has long been cautious of Camilla's growing influence, these leaks are more than just frustrating. They pose a serious threat to the unity of the royal family. Meanwhile, for Harry, who has been openly critical of Camilla, they only reinforce his belief in the dysfunction within the monarchy. What makes Tom's revelations even more troubling is their timing. With the royal family already under a microscope, thanks largely to Harry and Meghan's candid disclosures, Tom's comments have only added to the controversy. For a monarchy that's working hard to maintain an image of stability and unity, this fresh wave of drama is an unwelcome distraction. While Tom may present his remarks as innocent anecdotes or personal musings, the damage they've caused to the royal family's reputation is anything but minor. Camilla's insecurities are particularly telling in how they surface. Her hesitation to delegate responsibilities to Catherine isn't just about maintaining control. It's a subtle admission of her own shortcomings. Deep down, Camilla likely recognizes that Catherine embodies the qualities the public admires. In a future queen, Catherine's ability to genuinely connect with people and understand their struggles and dreams is a natural gift, one that Camilla can only aspire to. It's a level of authenticity that no stage photo opportunity could ever achieve. What makes Tom's actions even more frustrating is the entitlement that seems to drive them. As the son of the Queen Consort, he holds a position of privilege. That comes with significant responsibilities. Yet time and again, he has shown a lack of regard for the impact of his words and actions, whether he's discussing his mother's ambitions or casually addressing sensitive family issues. Tom's remarks reveal a troubling disconnect between his personal agenda and the broader interests of the monarchy. This disconnect becomes even clearer when examining how Tom has positioned himself in the media. Although he lacks an official, royal title, his closeness to the crown provides him with a platform most people can only dream of. Yet, instead of using this platform to support the monarchy, he often leverages it to promote his own narrative, one that highlights his mother in a favorable light while conveniently downplaying the controversies surrounding her ascent. By doing so, Tom has not only disrupted the royal family's attempts to present a united front, but has also strengthened the belief that Camilla's influence reaches far beyond her formal role. This perception carries significant consequences for a monarchy that depends heavily on public goodwill. For the institution to remain relevant, actions like those of Camilla and her son pose a considerable threat. By putting their personal agendas ahead of the royal family's needs, they risk alienating key supporters and undermining the trust that is critical to the monarchy's survival. While the full impact of the damage is yet to unfold, one thing is certain: the path to redemption will be long and difficult. For Prince William, widely seen as the future of the monarchy, these revelations are deeply concerning. As someone who has always valued the importance of public perception, he knows better than anyone what is at stake. Despite his efforts to maintain an image of unity and stability, the actions of Camilla and Tom have made this mission significantly harder. Whether by directly addressing the leaks or finding ways to minimize their impact, William's handling of this crisis will serve as a defining test of his leadership. For Camilla, the stakes are just as high. As Queen Consort, she is expected to support the monarchy and honor its traditions. Yet her actions, whether deliberate or not, have often produced the opposite effect. From accusations of overstepping her role to her involvement in contentious decisions, Camilla has become a focal point for criticism, further complicating the monarchy's efforts to maintain public trust. The monarchy, despite its imperfections, relies heavily on public goodwill to endure. Its members are expected to represent duty and selflessness, not only when under the spotlight, but in all aspects of their roles. Yet the actions of Camilla and Tom seem driven more by personal ambition than by concern for the monarchy's long-term well-being. It's a risky approach, one that threatens to alienate not just the public, but also critical allies within the royal family. Consider that talks about modernizing the monarchy. On the surface, this appears to be a sensible and forward-thinking goal. After all, institutions that fail to evolve often face irrelevance. However, when these efforts are reportedly led by someone as polarizing as Camilla, it raises valid concerns about the true intent. Is this modernization truly aimed at safeguarding the monarchy's future, or is it a calculated move to secure a legacy that positions Camilla and her lineage at the center of the royal story? These questions cast a shadow over the sincerity of the effort, leaving many to question its ultimate purpose. Even Charles, with all his shortcomings, seems to understand the importance of William and Catherine to the monarchy. His often strained relationship with Camilla, despite their shared history, highlights the widening gap between their visions of royal life. While Charles remains deeply tied to tradition, sometimes to his own detriment, William and Catherine embody a more modern approach. They represent a future that values relatability over rigid formalities and action over mere symbolism. Tom's role in this dynamic is significant. As a son of the Queen Consort, his words carry an inherent weight, whether he intends them to or not. Every story he tells and every remark he makes is carefully analyzed for hidden meanings and potential repercussions. While he may view himself as an impartial observer or a supportive son, the reality is far more complex. His actions have portrayed a royal family struggling with internal divisions, while his mother's ambitions, whether real or perceived, have only intensified the scrutiny. This has further destabilized the monarchy, already navigating a delicate balance between tradition and modern relevance. The timing of Tom's revelations cannot be overlooked, coming at a moment when the royal family is already grappling with a host of controversies. With tensions high, fueled in no small part by Harry and Meghan's public grievances, the last thing the monarchy needed was another source of turmoil. Yet here comes Tom, stepping into the limelight with remarks that are as poorly judged as they are damaging. Whether he's casually discussing his mother's cooking or her political acumen, the subtext is clear. Camilla is not content to remain a background figure in the royal narrative. This raises a pivotal question. What is Camilla's ultimate goal? Is she satisfied with the role of a supportive consort, or does she have greater ambitions? The leaks and rumors suggest the latter, painting a picture of a woman far more driven than her carefully crafted public image suggests. While ambition in itself is not a flaw, it becomes a problem when it jeopardizes the greater good. In this case, the stability and reputation of the monarchy. Camilla's perceived desire for influence risks overshadowing her duty, placing the entire institution in a precarious position. For those who have long doubted Camilla's true intentions, these recent events feel like confirmation. The idea that she and her son might be working to secure their own legacy at the expense of the royal family seems not just possible, but entirely consistent with their past actions. From the moment Camilla joined the royal circle, her presence has caused division. While she has made efforts to repair her image, the cracks in her carefully curated facade are becoming harder to overlook. Tom's role in this story is equally troubling. By openly discussing his mother's ambitions and views, he has inadvertently confirmed what many have long suspected. Camilla's position in the monarchy is far more intricate than it appears, whether this is a calculated move or simply a case of speaking without thinking. The outcome is the same. The public is left with the impression that Camilla is not just a supportive partner to Charles, but a power player in her own right, casting a new light on her influence within the royal family. This perception is especially harmful at a time when the monarchy is already facing intense scrutiny, with ongoing questions about its relevance and future. The royal family simply cannot afford more controversy. Yet that's exactly what they've gotten, thanks to Camilla and Tom. While some may argue that this comes with the territory of being in the public eye, it's hard to ignore the sense that much of this drama is self-inflicted. For Prince William, the challenges are enormous. As the de facto leader of the next generation of royals, he carries the responsibility of navigating these troubled waters while maintaining a sense of stability and direction. But with Camilla and Tom stirring up conflict at every turn, this task becomes even more daunting. The real question is not just how William will respond, but whether he can undo the damage that has already been done. Camilla's supporters may claim that she is merely acting in the monarchy's best interest, but this argument rings hollow when considering her track record. From her perceived overreach in royal matters to her son's careless remarks, the evidence points to a consistent pattern of behavior that seems to prioritize personal ambition over the collective well-being of the royal family. While it's possible that these actions are being misunderstood, the optics are undeniably problematic. The saga of Camilla and Tom serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of ambition and the weight of public perception. For a monarchy that depends so much on public backing, the behavior of these two individuals poses a serious risk. While their influence may be significant, it's ultimately up to the royal family to determine how to handle this crisis. Whether they choose to face it directly or try to downplay it, one thing is certain: the legacy of Camilla and Tom will be a controversial one, and its effects on the monarchy will linger for years. So, what do you think about their ambitions and actions? Are they securing their legacy, or are they overstepping their boundaries? Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe for more insightful royal commentary, and turn on notifications so you never miss a story. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Now let's address the matter of Camilla's ambitions. While her commitment to her responsibilities might appear admirable at first glance, let's not fool ourselves. This is about securing a legacy, not simply fulfilling a duty. Camilla's entire royal journey has been shaped by her drive to rewrite her story, from being the other woman to becoming a respected queen. And while she has made some strides in that direction, the cracks in her carefully crafted image are becoming harder to overlook. In contrast, Catherine has none of that baggage. Her rise within the royal family hasn't been marred by scandal or controversy. It's been defined by quiet competence. Catherine doesn't need to fight for her place. She's earned it through her dedication and grace. Catherine has already earned her place through sheer dedication and hard work, and that's ultimately what sets her apart from Camilla. While Camilla's position feels uncertain and dependent on circumstances, Catherine's feels secure and almost inevitable. The generational gap between Camilla and Catherine is striking. Camilla's attachment to outdated royal traditions feels disconnected in an era that demands change. Catherine, on the other hand, represents the monarchy's ability to evolve. She balances tradition with progress, making her relevant in a world that's rapidly changing, a balance that Camilla has struggled to find. The real tragedy of Camilla's story isn't her lack of popularity or her strained relationships within the royal family. It's her inability to adapt. For someone who has spent decades maneuvering through the complexities of royal life, she remains painfully out of touch with the times. Her approach to her role feels stuck, while Catherine's is dynamic. In a world that increasingly values authenticity and innovation, that difference is hard to ignore. As the monarchy faces its upcoming change, all eyes are on Catherine and William. Their ability to handle this shift with poise and confidence shows they're ready to take charge. On the other hand, Camilla may find herself fading into the background, a small part of a story that no longer belongs to her. While she may not be pleased about this, the future of the monarchy is in the hands of those who can move it forward. The relationship between Camilla and Catherine is often described as tense, with some even calling it openly hostile. While Catherine has naturally embraced the grace, kindness, and modern outlook the monarchy needs, Camilla often feels out of place. Her struggle to connect with the public, unlike Catherine, only deepens the divide between them. Despite all her efforts, Camilla's legacy may always be overshadowed by the scandals and controversies that have surrounded her. On the other hand, Catherine is creating a lasting legacy that will leave a real impact for generations to come. The difference between the two is clear and will shape the monarchy for years ahead. Camilla's struggle to maintain her position reflects both her insecurities and the evolving nature of the monarchy. Catherine, however, marks a new beginning, one focused on progress, authenticity, and moving away from outdated traditions. While Camilla may try to hold on to her place, the future is already clear. It belongs to Catherine. In a time of uncertainty and change, the British monarchy is on the verge of a major transformation. Queen Camilla has always been a steady presence by King Charles's side, but now she's preparing to step back from her royal duties, creating a surprising gap at the heart of the crown. This opens the door for Duchess Catherine, the beloved wife of Prince William, to shine like never before. All eyes are on her, and people are wondering, what does this sudden change mean for the future of the monarchy? With Camilla stepping down, Catherine's rise could be a major turning point, changing the future of the Windsor family. Camilla's time as queen consort has been full of challenges and close attention, but now the royal family is ready for a shift. Will Catherine's rise signal a new beginning, or will it stir up hidden conflicts within the family? The drama continues to unfold, and we're in for an exciting ride. The stage is set for an unforgettable show. Many have admired Camilla for her down-to-earth and humble nature. I believe she will continue to take a step back, allowing Charles to lead while maintaining a low-key presence. Her straightforward and practical approach is clear. However, some branding experts worry that her reserved style might create a distance between her and the public. Unlike Diana, who is open about her emotions, wore stylish clothes, and shared her struggles, Camilla prefers to keep things more private. As explained by Markowski, CEO of a New York influencer marketing agency, Diana made a strong connection with the public, whereas Camilla tends to stay more in the background. In the end, it will be up to the British people to decide how much they accept and welcome Camilla in her new role as queen consort. Reactions to her were mixed, especially from those who watched the Queen's coffin travel from Buckingham Palace to Westminster Hall. Fiona Dodd from Dorset shared her thoughts, saying, "Camilla has carried herself with grace and often stayed in the background. She's been a wonderful source of support for Charles, and their deep care for each other is evident." However, some still wonder what might have been under different circumstances. Laura Muco from Hampshire reflected, "There are moments when I think about how things could have changed if events had unfolded differently. Diana would have had the same love and support that the late Queen received. She would have been cherished and warmly embraced by the British public. If history had taken another course, we might be speaking of Queen Diana today." Richard Morris from Buckingham offered a more balanced perspective on Camilla. Meanwhile, palace insiders hinted at Camilla's underlying worries about Catherine's rising popularity. Camilla has always viewed Catherine as a rival, one source revealed, noting that she often feels overshadowed by the younger royal's widespread appeal and ability to connect with people from all walks of life. "I'm just glad Charles has someone by his side," he remarked. But she will be queen consort, not the queen. For most people, there's only one queen, and that's the one who has recently passed. As the world watches the royal family evolve, attention now turns to Catherine Middleton, the Duchess of Cambridge and now the Princess of Wales. She has steadily embraced her responsibilities as a senior royal, standing alongside her husband, the future king, and taking on an increasing number of duties. Catherine has earned widespread admiration for her elegance, dedication to charitable causes, and her significant role in shaping the royal family's future. Even before becoming a princess, she demonstrated a strong commitment to philanthropy. In 2007, she organized a photography exhibition for Alastair Morrison's book Time to Reflect, which helped raise funds for UNICEF. Catherine visited Naomi's House Hospice, spending time with children and organizing a fun-filled 1980s-themed roller disco. This event raised an impressive $100,000 for Place 2BE, a mental health charity, and the Oxford Children's Hospital. Her commitment to philanthropy extended further as she helped organize the Boodles Boxing Ball, another major charity event, and coordinated activities for the Starlight Children's Foundation, which supports children with life-threatening illnesses, all while working for her family's business. After her wedding, Catherine wholeheartedly embraced her royal duties. In March 2011, she and Prince William created a wedding gift fund, encouraging well-wishers to donate to charities instead of giving traditional gifts. The fund supported 26 charities close to their hearts, focusing on causes such as the arts, elderly care, children's welfare, and environmental conservation. In 2012, the charity was renamed the Royal Charity of the Prince and Princess of Wales. to reflect its evolving mission. Catherine's philanthropic focus spans several areas, including early childhood development, mental health, sports, addiction recovery, and the arts. Her influence has significantly boosted donations and brought widespread attention to the projects she supports. Often referred to as the Catherine effect, her influence has brought remarkable attention to her causes. Catherine is deeply passionate about art and education. With her background in art history, she became a patron of the National Portrait Gallery and chose to support programs like the Art Room, which provides art therapy for underprivileged children. Over the years, Catherine has taken on additional patronages, including the All England Lawn Tennis and Croquet Club and the Lawn Tennis Association. In 2019, she became the patron of a founding museum, and in 2020, she supported the United Kingdom's first children's charity. A longtime volunteer with the Scouts, Catherine was also appointed as one of the organization's co-presidents. Her love for sports is equally notable. In 2016, she became a patron of the All England Lawn Tennis and Croquet Club and is a regular attendee at Wimbledon alongside Prince William and Prince Harry. Following the 2012 London Olympics, Catherine launched Coach Core, a program designed to train young people aspiring to become professional coaches. Catherine has actively participated in charity sailing competitions and supported initiatives like Backyard Nature, promoting a strong connection between children and the natural world. In 2022, she succeeded Prince Harry as the patron of the Rugby Football Union and Rugby Football League. Her support extends to the military community as well. She wrote the preface for the charity book Living in the Slipstream, Life as an RAF Wife, and in 2014 took on the Duke of Edinburgh's role as patron of the Royal Air Force Air Cadets. Catherine continues to support the cadets, including celebrating their 75th anniversary in 2016. Known for her composure, Catherine balances her royal duties with a hands-on parenting approach for Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis. Her dedication to early childhood development and her steadfast commitment to her role have earned her widespread admiration. Unlike Camilla, whose path to the throne faced decades of controversy, Catherine's journey has been defined by quiet elegance and unwavering devotion, a stark contrast that emphasizes the challenges Camilla has faced in securing her legacy. In 2022, Catherine became the patron of British Army officer Preet Chandy, who undertook a solo expedition to the South Pole. Addiction is another key focus of her charitable work. As the patron of Action on Addiction, she has visited treatment centers and spent time with individuals in recovery, demonstrating her deep commitment to this cause. In 2012, Catherine supported the launch of Impact, a study exploring how parental addiction affects children before joining Action on Addiction. As a patron of the Forward Trust, she showcased her commitment to families affected by addiction by leading the Taking Action on Addiction campaign. In January 2018, Catherine donated her hair to the Little Princess Trust, a charity that provides wigs for children battling cancer. The following month, she took on a significant role as patron of the Royal College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists. She also played a key role in launching the Nursing Now campaign, a 3-year global initiative aimed at raising awareness about the critical role of nurses. Catherine's family has a legacy in nursing. Both her great-grandmother Olive Middleton and her grandmother Valerie Middleton served as British Red Cross nurses. Honoring this heritage, Catherine has shown strong support for the National Health Service, NHS, by participating in numerous events, both in person and online, to highlight its importance and impact. Catherine has quietly served as a volunteer for the Royal Voluntary Service and has shown deep commitment to palliative care for children. As a patron of East Anglia's children's hospices, she has provided comfort by privately visiting children and their families. Her first public appearance for the organization came in 2012 at the opening of a hospice in Ipswich. Since 2013, she has championed Children's Hospice Week, underscoring the importance of love and support during challenging times. A passionate photographer, Catherine has captured official portraits of her children and other members of the royal family. In 2019, she inspired young people to explore photography as a form of self-expression by sponsoring photography workshops through the Royal Photographic Society. As his patron, she also contributed to an exhibition marking 75 years since the end of the Holocaust, with her photos of Holocaust survivors displayed at the Imperial War Museum. Catherine further curated an exhibit on Victorian childhood photography at the National Portrait Gallery. In May 2020, she launched the Hold Still Project, inviting the public to share photos capturing life in isolation. The project received 31,000 submissions, some of which were showcased nationwide on posters, murals, and billboards. By May 2021, the collection was compiled and published, preserving these powerful images as a testament to resilience during unprecedented times. The Hold Still Project was later published as Hold Still, a portrait of our nation in 2020 featuring a foreword written by Catherine. Since 2021, she has also organized an annual Christmas Carol concert at Westminster Abbey, each year focusing on a unique theme. In March 2022, Catherine and William made a generous donation to support Ukrainian migrants. The following year, in February 2023, they contributed to the Disasters Emergency Committee to assist those affected by the devastating earthquake in Syria and Turkey. In May 2023, Catherine hosted her first children's picnic at the Chelsea Flower Show, inviting students from schools participating in the Royal Horticultural Society's School Gardening Initiative. In July 2024, she and William supported rescue and relief efforts for victims of Hurricane Beryl. As King Charles's health continues to raise concerns, Prince William has taken on greater responsibilities. His calm and thoughtful approach to leadership has solidified his position as the future cornerstone of the monarchy. William has not only taken on more royal duties, but has also begun guiding the monarchy toward embracing modern values. Catherine, a passionate advocate for mental health and disability issues, regularly visits hospitals and charities such as St. Thomas's Hospital to connect with families facing these challenges. Her efforts to raise awareness about children's mental health have earned her widespread recognition, and industry leaders have commended her dedication. In 2016, Catherine, William, and Harry launched the Heads Together campaign to break the stigma surrounding mental health. She has been open about her own struggles with motherhood, sharing her experiences of self-doubt and mom guilt, and emphasizing the need for mental health support in schools. To address this, she launched the Mentally Healthy Schools website, which now serves hundreds of thousands of students and educators. As part of her advocacy, Catherine guest edited HuffPost UK to highlight the importance of children's mental health. In 2019, she co-designed the Back to Nature garden for the Chelsea Flower Show, collaborating with Andre Davies and Adam White. The Back to Nature garden later inspired a playground on the Sandringham estate. As part of the Heads Together campaign, Catherine and her family also launched Shout, a tech support service for individuals experiencing mental distress. Catherine's dedication to early childhood development has been equally impactful. She firmly believes in the lasting influence that the early years have on health and well-being. In 2018, she organized a symposium with the Royal Society of Medicine and founded the Early Years Steering Group. In 2020, Catherine launched 5 Big Questions on the Under Fives, a nationwide survey that received 500,000 responses, shining a light on crucial issues in early childhood. She supported the BBC's Tiny Happy People initiative, a free resource for parents, and led a donation drive for baby banks across the UK. In 2021, she established the Royal Foundation Centre for Early Childhood, focusing on research and advocacy for early childhood issues. In February 2022, Catherine traveled to Denmark on behalf of her foundation to explore innovative approaches to early childhood development. In June 2022, Catherine held her first roundtable discussion with UK politicians, and in January 2023, she launched the Shaping Us campaign, a long-term initiative aimed at raising awareness of the critical role early childhood plays in shaping our future. Later that year, she delivered a keynote speech at the Shaping Us National Symposium in London, reinforcing her strong commitment to improving outcomes for young children. Despite Catherine's growing influence and her preparations for her future role, the royal line does not pass to the spouse of the reigning monarch. When King Charles passes, questions arise about Camilla's place in the royal hierarchy. Will she need to step aside for William and Catherine, or will she retain her position? Sources indicate that King Charles, despite his health concerns, has full confidence in William and Catherine's abilities to carry out their royal duties. As the future king and queen, they are already preparing for their eventual roles, with Charles believing in their dedication to the monarchy. The next in line for the throne is Prince William, the eldest son of King Charles and Queen Camilla. It's important to note that spouses of monarchs do not inherit the throne, which is why Camilla is not in the line of succession. Catherine, Princess of Wales, is the wife of Prince William, who holds the title of Prince of Wales, despite still recovering from health issues. Catherine is returning to her busy schedule of royal engagements, as rumors suggest that she and William are preparing to take on more of their royal responsibilities. This transition is fully supported by King Charles, although it's widely known that his health is in decline and there has been little public discussion about it. William and Catherine are clearly stepping up to prepare for their future roles, with a growing recognition of their commitment to the monarchy. There is no intention to pressure King Charles into abdicating his throne. In fact, both William and Catherine want him to hold the throne for as long as possible. However, the reality is that as Charles ages and faces health challenges, it's becoming increasingly likely that William and Catherine will soon have to step into their royal roles. Meanwhile, Prince George is maturing quickly. William has a clear vision for the future of the crown, one that focuses on fewer patronages, a more targeted approach to important issues, and an emphasis on transparency and relatability. These changes reflect a response to the outdated practices that some associate with Charles and Camilla's reign. By prioritizing causes like mental health, environmental conservation, and homelessness, William is shaping a role that feels relevant and impactful, distinct from the traditionalist approach often linked to his father and stepmother. As second in line to the British throne, he is already laying the groundwork for his future reign. At just 11 years old, George is set to become the heir apparent when his father, Prince William, becomes king. His childhood, as you can imagine, is probably quite different from most kids his age. Princess Catherine is doing her best to prepare George for the responsibilities he'll face. It must be tough for a young boy to understand that he's meant to become king one day. Royal expert Phil Dia shared his thoughts in an interview with The Sun's Fabulous magazine. He explained that George spends a lot of time with his mother's family, the Middletons, and leads a life similar to that of an upper middle class child. But George is growing up fast. Both William and Catherine are helping him get ready for his royal duties. Dampier also noted that George's confidence has grown because of his participation in important royal events. Judy James, a body language expert, shared that Prince George has grown from a shy child to a confident and responsible young boy, all thanks to his dad, Prince William's guidance. Despite the change, George still holds on to his playful nature. Now 11 years old, he's starting to dress like his dad. He chooses to wear suits and takes after Prince William's style. Dampier mentions that sometimes George has looked a bit stiff and formal in a coat and tie. However, in the latest photo from his 11th birthday, he seemed much more relaxed and happy, showing just how fast he's growing up. George will continue his father's legacy by attending Eton. During his time at this prestigious school, he will have the chance to meet King Charles, which means he will learn a lot from his grandfather. Dampier mentioned that George's parents will guide him, and William and Catherine will gradually prepare him for the future. William, who oversees the Duchy of Cornwall as the Prince of Wales, will teach George about royal duties. He will privately learn about the royal family's history and status. However, Catherine and William are committed to ensuring their children, including George, Charlotte, and Louis, can have a childhood without the weight of royal responsibilities. They want them to experience as much normalcy as possible, free from the pressure of future duties. George is being given more freedom and choices than past kings who had to follow strict rules to get to the throne. Instead of pushing him into duties he doesn't want, which could make him feel overwhelmed, they're allowing him to choose his own path. As Dia pointed out, George's time as king is still far off, but it seems his family is doing everything they can to support him as he moves toward the future. Queen Camilla is stepping back, with little known about the health of both King Charles and Princess Catherine. Camilla's decision to take a break from royal duties has sparked a lot of rumors about the royal family. She has cleared her schedule, until March 11th, when she's expected to attend the Commonwealth Day service at Westminster Abbey. Admiration for some can seem like desperation to others, especially when compared to Catherine's seamless rise to prominence. While some royal observers believe Camilla's break hints at the king's improving health, others question the timing, particularly as other senior royals have also stepped back from the spotlight. Robert Finch, chairman of the Monarchist League of Canada, shared his thoughts with CBC News, suggesting that Camilla's break is likely temporary. He pointed out that at 76 years old, Camilla has been handling significant responsibilities, often stepping up due to the king's health challenges. Though her role is meant to be supportive, she has taken on more leadership duties recently. A short rest will surely do her good. However, this vacation comes during a period when the royal family faces growing challenges in balancing their private and public lives. Since mid-January, concerns over the health of two prominent royals have continued to draw attention. Within hours of each other, it was revealed that King Charles, 75, had been hospitalized for treatment of an enlarged prostate, while the Princess of Wales, 42, was scheduled to undergo stomach surgery. Although Catherine was not expected to resume her public duties until after Easter, the palace announced in late January 2024 that she was recovering well and back at Windsor. In February 2024, Buckingham Palace issued a statement confirming that Charles would step back from his public duties due to a cancer diagnosis unrelated to his prostate. Meanwhile, Camilla has been spending more time with her 2 children and 5 grandchildren from her previous marriage. Despite her efforts to balance personal life with royal obligations, the pressure to prioritize her public role as queen has only intensified. Camilla's leave raises questions about how the royal family's public responsibilities might shift in her absence. Turning attention to Duchess Catherine, her rise continues to captivate the public, but the royal family seems to face new controversies every day. Recently, Princes William and Harry made headlines for their powerful condemnation of the BBC's treatment of their mother, Princess Diana. In 1995, journalist Martin Bashir deceived Diana by forging documents to secure an intimate interview about her troubled relationship with Prince Charles. The BBC has since acknowledged this incident as a significant failure in journalism, with its effects still resonating more than 25 years later. On a brighter note, Buckingham Palace remains hopeful as they navigate these challenges. Catherine Middleton, who rose from commoner to Duchess of Cambridge, has become a key figure for the royal family during challenging times. Many, including her uncle, believe she is more than ready to take on the responsibilities of royalty. In a recent video celebrating her and Prince William's 10th wedding anniversary, the couple appeared so charming and down to earth that the occasion felt more like a heartwarming advertisement than a royal event. The royal family, in desperate need of positive attention, has found an invaluable asset in the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge. Together with their 3 delightful children, they present a refreshing modern image for the monarchy. By showcasing the genuine and approachable side, they are helping to restore the royal family's reputation, especially in the wake of past controversy surrounding issues like race and privilege. Catherine's background as a commoner has fueled debates about her suitability for a future queenship, but many believe she was born ready for the role. One family member described her as the embodiment of a modern royal ideal. Her uncle, Gary Goldsmith, who rarely speaks publicly, expressed his surprise at her connection with Prince William. He humorously recounted a moment when William, seemingly just an ordinary man, was casually making tea in their home, a small but meaningful reminder of their relatability.